I think there's a high probability that there's going to be a lot of people on the panel and the target audience on YouTube that have never thought about my perspective because I'm a minority of a minority. Do I understand that the politics could dive into different arms like everyone has talked about? Absolutely. But for me, Trump already messed up when he made it a very difficult time for me to exist with his rhetoric. A man's job is to protect and provide. Well, he didn't protect me and my community when shit hit the fan through what he was saying with the hate crimes and everything that happened. So he already fucked up, in my opinion, to me. And I can't stand by
What hate crimes? What hate crimes?
the increase of hate crimes against Asian Americans that happened when he was spewing his rhetoric. So the thing is that I don't.
Made up. I believe that all of that's made up because black people we don't have an anti-black crime hate bill. So I'm trying to figure out when did crime go up. That was all fabricated by the media.
The 6 Asians were targeted and died.
It was all fabricated by the media. They just hung a black man by a tree and said he did it himself. That was all fabricated by the media.
Is it okay if I finish?
I know the girl personally. That wasn't fabricated. That was not fabricated. I know her personally. So, that's what's crazy.
Let her finish, ladies.
Ladies, I gotta let her finish.
So being that said, I don't want to go through another term of waking up to text messages and phone calls from my loved ones saying, please be careful out there. Be careful, be more aware of your surroundings due to the fact that I'm going to assume responsibility for what came out of his mouth, even though I am an American citizen. So for me, that I can't let that happen again. That's not okay for me. I'm not saying that the Biden administration did everything that they should. However, typically when I express this, it's very common, just like her reaction, for this to get glossed over. I understand it's not important for you, but it's important for me, which is why I say it's difficult when you're a minority of a minority, because most of the time when I express this, it's fallen on deaf ears and you, oh, that's the Asian community. I'm like less than 3%, probably 2%. So it's a slippery slope and a lot of people aren't going to get it. And I understand that. But unless you were in my shoes and Trump didn't do anything, he just was like, if you're going to be a leader for all people. Watch what you say. It affects people. Like, I don't want to have to call my mom and be like, please be careful going to the grocery store. You know, people, she's not even Chinese. But look what happened. He didn't control it. He failed in my mind from the beginning. So I mean, like I said, we could go down.
You gotta tell my son watches that every day. I have a 19-year-old that lives in Texas, so I understand your plight. I don't want you to feel like that it's falling on deaf ears, but I feel like a lot of
it kind of did because you didn't let me finish. You kind of just pulled the rug out from underneath of me without letting me finish. Like, this is a real concern for Asian Americans who don't want to have to deal with this with him being in office. But like I said, I'm used to it.
With them funding a war, slaughtering millions of people overseas.
The priority in my life is my protection, my safety, exactly. So that's why I do feel like my point is completely valid.
But that's just like saying if you listen to rap music, that means you're finna go up and shoot up everybody. You don't have to do like. People already felt the way they felt.
You're saying
already felt the way they felt.
Sorry, honey, y'all. One at a time, y'all.
All the studies that proved his rhetoric did increase the hate crime over 400% is an issue for me. And I understand it's not an issue for you, but that's why we vote for what we care about. And I voted for what I care about, which is my personal safety and my family's. So I think that's valid. I think that's okay. I'm not saying that her administration is peachy keen, but it strikes a nerve with me. And if it falls on deaf ears, then so be it. But it's the reality of my existence and the people that look like me in the United States. But last time I checked, we're the United States. All people.
Ellie, I got a quick question.
There is a bill for hate crime. There is a hate crime bill already. So is your issue because of what he said, or is your issue with the bill?
And how he handled it. He just ignored it. He just kept on going with his rhetoric and didn't. If he had an opportunity to bring it back, but he chose not to. He chose to ignore it, and that's not okay with me. How could I be okay to let that happen again?
Wait, I just got I got a quick question.
He said that, it made it sound like you had an issue with it's not a bill.
It's his character. He does not stop hate rhetoric. When we had the attack on the Capitol, he wanted to say people have a right to do what they want to do, and that's the issue. Regardless of the policies, regardless of the plans on implementing, I don't trust him as a leader. And I think that's what Ellie is saying. It's just a company.
Like
you
it's
so quick question. So Ali, are you speaking about him saying that the virus came from China?
And continually saying China virus and not him knowing the hate crime is going up and just being like,
So
well, it came from China anyway.
Right.
Really, we can do better than that. Like, if you know the people in the United States are bucking up because of the way you're sensationalizing it, then do something about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right? But that's why I'm saying it's so difficult for me to share this because a lot of people don't care. And
I get that. I get that. I think, and this is probably just from a detached perspective, right? So when we had the Spanish flu, that came from Spain, and we labeled it the Spanish flu. When Ebola came around, that came from Africa. The West Nile, it came from the West Nile. So I think that by default, at least in America, we're conditioned to label it the disease or virus or whatever. We're conditioned to label it from where it came from.
Right.
The other part too, going to Brittany's comment.
And we got to bring this to a close too, Viz, because we got to move on. So nobody else talk out the Viz, so we can move on.
For sure. Can I just say real quick? Then
I'm gonna just say this real quick. So Brittany, we love to bring up January 6th, but we leave out the Black Lives Matters riots. Like, we literally watch half the country burn down, and the Democrats do nothing about it. They literally told people to remain in the streets and continue doing what they're doing. So if it's one of those things where I think Di was mentioning of how one side does one thing and nobody acknowledges the other. So
But when you're the president of the United States, you have a different voice. You have a different level of impact. So I don't want to compare what happened at the Capitol to the Black Lives Matter riots, because the president of the United States had the ability and the authority to do something about that, and he did not. And that, along with so many other things that he's done in the media, further supports why his character is horrible. And he is not the right candidate to lead this country based on his character alone, not looking at the policies and the initiatives that he plans on implementing. I think, like to Ali's point, to my point, and a lot of other people's point, it is about his character and the message that he has spread for years to come.
I just wanted to say the last thing, and it's not really to do with anything with Trump's character or anything like that, but I feel like we are all here to give our opinions. And Ali, being, totally separate minority and using this as a vulnerable space to tell us how she felt in her perspective, in her community's perspective, we should give everyone the respect that we would want to give when we are sharing things that are personable to us, especially as Black people, because we are the first ones to jump up and say when things don't sit right with us, when we're not happy with things or not happy with certain things that go on with us. So when someone else is speaking that comes from a different culture that we know nothing about, that we actually sat back and watch their people get attacked and have different problems because, or whether you feel like it was indirect or directly from what Trump did, allow her to speak. Yeah. I just felt like that was extremely rude and unnecessary to jump in and cut her off multiple times and try to compare your struggle to hers when she's talking about her specific experience. Come on now, we are better. We can do better and we will do better. Thank you. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say, Ali,
it wasn't the men doing that. It was the other women doing that. So don't put that again. We understand hierarchy. We seen who was doing that. It was another woman. Just like Kamala Harris, she was doing us. Fuck her.
Hey, be quiet.
I mean,
I do feel like at times we as Black people, when we hear other minorities talk, we like, okay, what about us? What about what we went through too? So I just want to thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
What's the first thing women notice? Your face. That's why you got to take care of. Simple things like getting a haircut, grooming your face, and brushing your teeth is important. But there's one thing guys miss and that women always notice. It's when a guy isn't taking care of his skin. That's why I'm so excited to have T. Shanley as a sponsor of today's video. T. Shanley simplifies the process of taking care of your skin. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing you don't. Seriously, I don't think some of you believe me when I tell you how much implementing a quality skincare routine will improve your confidence in all aspects of your life. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: daily face wash, exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with an SPF 20 and a PM moisturizer. But there's hope. And to make it dead simple for you guys, they provide an instruction card in every box that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. But because T just sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description and get 40% off your first skincare system and free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll get 20% off for life. By the way, one of their new gift options is a silicone body scrubber, which is a $20 value and a complete game changer. Once you use this, you'll never go back to a regular loofah ever again. So don't wait any longer. Click the first link in the description to start your skincare journey. It's go time. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got the Miss Kelly J, Cloud Jones, Brittany Gold, there's the poet Aisha Hink, and myself from Lapeef J. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing? Y'all sounding dry, man. How y'all doing?
I'm good. How about yourself? How about yourself, JL?
Man, no complaints, man. In a great spirit. Just got a lot of moving parts over here on my end, but I'm gonna get it together slowly but surely. Good to see you guys in attendance again. What's going on, Angela Swift? We got CIPH Bud. What's going on? Gator, how you doing? Cloud Jones in the chat as usual. As you guys come in, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll see if we can get Viz some tussing while we at it too, man. Somebody get him a sippy cup or something, man, so he can.
That Ebola virus?
I don't know, man. I didn't think it was that damn cold in Texas, Viz. Yeah, no, you must be sick.
No, I was just coughing.
Okay. You know how I get, man. When folks get Hollywood, man, they just dress however they want to dress. 94 degrees. They said I wanted to wear that jacket in particular, and I'm gonna wear it. I don't know what the temperature is.
Hey, it was cool out today, so it was like, let me go ahead and put some light on. So
it must be still cold inside the house, huh?
So it's probably like 70, 71. But
that's crazy. You got on a whole puffy coat.
No, this thin. It ain't a thick one.
Oh, a thin puffy coat. Okay.
Yeah, it's a thin puffy coat.
Take that.
Yeah, man. In Texas, I really don't get to wear my coat. So, whenever it do drop down a little bit, I'm like, all right.
What, the 65?
Yeah. Let me see. It's 49 right now.
Oh yeah, it is. It is a little chilly, man. You never lied about that, man. But yeah, it'll lighten back up, man. But how y'all doing? Brittany, you woke?
With us today? I am nice and comfortable, but I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Normally you sit in the chair, like you might pass out or something like that.
I'm good.
Okay. Y'all make sure I keep an eye on her too. Y'all start seeing her slide down. Y'all let me know. Go slide all the way out of frame.
Hey, Brittany, when is your birthday? I saw that you said you're a Leo.
I am August 13th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're Leo?
Leo gang. We in here.
Yes.
L's.
Like, kids waiting for that shit, huh? So I don't even know nobody else really signs. Really, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just know my month. That's it. I don't keep.
What is yours?
Scorpio.
Oh God.
Doing the dating process with fellas and signs and all that. Is that part of like the dating thing, man? I mean, is that an issue for some of you ladies?
We need Rami on here for that discussion.
It's not a deal breaker, but it's it's fun to talk about. But I don't really get caught up into it.
Zodiac signs.
Yeah. Well, hold on, you just when I told you his sign, you act like you had a damn fit. You said, "Oh Lord."
I just thought about my connection to Scorpios. That's all. I mean, but it's not like a deal breaker. But
let's hear it. Let's hear it, Brittany. Give us the
I'm about to go mute right now. I'm about to go mute.
Please do. Too early. It's too early. No, I get along with Scorpios. They're cool people.
I don't know. That laugh was something that indicated that you got a little information that you keeping.
That's like,
you know what they say about Scorpios now, Lapeef.
No, what do they say?
I don't know what they say about Scorpios. I mean, that's what they say about all signs. You know what they say about Leos. You know what they say about snakes. So I don't know. Tell us what they say about Scorpios. Come on, let me get my notepad.
Let me find the politically correct way. Y'all are very passionate individuals. There we go.
That don't sound like a bad thing.
It's not.
That's it.
The politically correct way to say it.
My laugh wasn't a bad laugh.
Come on, Brittany. We want to know how you really feel.
You're right. What you doing?
Translate passionate into all areas of life, and that'll let you know what I'm talking about.
Boo.
Man, did he Scorpio?
Why you holding back, girl? You came on here to talk. Let's talk about it.
Oh no, we good right there.
So them cheeks getting rosy than a motherfucker.
Oh God.
Anyhow, good to be here, man. Happy Wednesday. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that Teej link, man. Click the Teej link. They are having early Black Friday deals and half off your skincare routines. That link is in the description. Feel the Teej, as I always say. I use it morning and night, and it works. I am very pleased with it, and I'm looking to get some more products, man. They got a lot of products on there. Sometimes I think I'm using too much, but if you develop your own system, I think you should find all your needs as far as skincare on Teej. With that being said, let's go to get this show started. Why dating today is nearly impossible. I'm hearing a feedback or something here in my voice. Y'all hear that too?
I heard something. Yeah.
Make sure you mute up in between. I don't know whose system that is, but let's see if we can get
that was my fan.
No, it's like something just repeating it, almost like on YouTube. Like YouTube playing in the background. Okay. It might have been you, Cloud. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get tech support out there tomorrow. I think they open up at 9, so we'll see if we can get them out there between the window of 10 and 11. How's that sound? Okay. Guess I'm talking to myself. Anyhow, let's go to get this show started, man. Again, why dating today is nearly impossible. So dating seems to be a big topic, huge conversations around the world, particularly in the Black community. Hey, all over, man. Everybody's struggling to date, man. And people are dating at all ages, it seems. Even 57-year-olds are dating, and we'll get into that too, if y'all know who I'm talking about. But everybody seems to be struggling. Everybody got all the answers. Everybody got it all figured out. They know exactly the reason why they're single. They know exactly what the problem is. So we're going to see if we can highlight some things. We're going to use these videos just to deepen our thoughts. So I don't really care that they are celebrities or regular folks, but let's see if we can apply it to our lives. and the people that's around us, and maybe may be able to help some folks in the chat, even on the panel, especially if you are looking for love. You may be looking for love in all the wrong places, but we're going to see if we can discover something. But this is an icebreaker. I ran across this clip where this woman married a simp. Y'all may have seen that clip floating around. I think we had it in the group chat a little bit earlier, right, Viz?
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Okay, so we're going to play it and we're going to get into it.
We really feeling you. It's the ones we don't like. We make them do it all.
So you ain't like your husband.
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
Well, I'm saying what his qualities was.
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And a nigga supposed to come with the bag?
They supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of me and my kids.
So, like you automatically get these responsibilities?
Yes.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
And how many niggas doing this?
I have between 2 or 3.
I'm saying, how many have you ran into in life?
Okay, so let's say I run into 100 dudes. Probably about 4 of them.
Yeah, that's about the odds.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with that now.
Probably about 4 of them.
That's about the odds. All right.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's so that kind of sound like you are delusional. You just catching just a sucker born every day.
Basically.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? A nigga that's, so you ain't never caught no nigga that's worth something doing that though. Am I kidding?
I probably have one. See, the way this game work is you have to get with a man who ain't used to dating back.
Would you rather have fake love that's beneficial or real love that's a liability?
Fake love that's beneficial. I'm not about to struggle with nobody.
That's cold. You have fake love. Would you rather have fake love that's an asset or real love that's a liability?
Give me the asset.
Damn, that's cold. You know everybody probably think like that.
I'm sure they do. Especially women. We won't be taken care of.
So you can know the nigga faking you out.
Yes.
Instead of having a liability nigga. Nah, that's cold.
I don't.
What you think, Sha? What you think? Fake me out.
Yeah. I ain't no believer in struggle love, baby. We too grown for that. I ain't no believer in struggle love.
What that mean? What struggle love?
Struggle love. We ain't finna be out here broke together. Can't get bills paid. You can't whine and dine me. I'm not doing that.
Damn. So you think that's a nigga? So what we gonna get? All right, if we weren't struggling, me and you in a relationship right now, what I get?
You gonna get my time, my attention, my support, good sex.
And that's worth what?
That's worth everything. That's worth you
Who
financially
said
taking
that?
care of me.
A whole lot going on in that clip. I've seen some unrealistic expectations. I've seen people praying on people actually marrying them. That's trying to trip out to go all the way as far as with marriage just for the benefit and not to be able to reciprocate some in return. It's kind of remind me of some of the relationships that I see out here in real life, man. A lot of people are marrying for all the wrong reasons. Then you also have people that are dating people for a purpose, but a benefit purpose. What are you guys' thoughts, man? Let me go ahead and get some folks in there. I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Miss Aisha. Heavily opinionated. Ish.
I think that relationships are give and take. So when you're in a relationship, you're always in that relationship because that person is giving you something and you're giving them something. However, I do understand Sister Girl's point. I mean, she seen the suck and she licked it. I mean, I feel like circumstances have created a different type of women. And these are women, they value material assets over love, over the family unit. Material to them is stability, and stability is, way more important than to be in love with someone and be broke. So.
All right. Let me go ahead and get Clout Jones in there, man. What are your thoughts about this whole situation, man?
It is a perfect example of why. Yeah, I think her attitude is a perfect example of why men are, stepping away from relationships and why men are at the point where they're saying, you know what, they're stepping away from marriage, they're stepping away from relationships. They're not wanting to invest money. They're not wanting to wine and dine. They're not wanting to take out on dates. And because I think a lot of men are under the impression that women are in business and that love is it's not a real thing anymore. It's, women don't want it. So when men are feeling like love is a finesse, so why fall in love if women are in business? It doesn't make sense. We're not on the same playing field.
All right, go ahead, Miss Brittany.
So I love love. I love the idea of partnership, being there for one another, serving one another, pleasing one another, all of that. But at the same time, I don't love that enough to just have that. Like, you gotta be an asset. You can't, okay, let me rephrase. You can't be a liability. You can't have all the right things to say, but yet you're coming with like a lack of income, a lack of vision, a lack of leadership skills. Like, you gotta come with everything else that I value. So it's not just about the sappy love stuff. It's about how good of a partner will you be.
Okay, go ahead, Viz. You go ahead.
So
go ahead, Viz.
Yeah. So Brittany, you saying that you agree with her? Because that's kind of what it just sounded like.
No, because if I did, I would have been married a bunch of times to a bunch of different people, because I meet a lot of guys who are willing and ready to do certain things. No, I don't take advantage of men just for, I don't take advantage of men. She's taking advantage of a man. She doesn't love him. You know what I mean? She just is there to benefit from whatever it is that she's benefiting from.
So one of the things that she kept pointing out was definitely the financial status. Of course, nobody wants to be with somebody that's broke or don't know how to make money. So in that situation, let's say you come across someone that you're in love with, but they don't make the same amount. They don't make the amount of money that you expect from them to make. But
I wouldn't be in love with them. I wouldn't even get there. I wouldn't go there. Like, my mind would not allow me to go there with that person. I would appreciate them for what they're good at. I'll value them as a human being. You know what I mean? I'll support them. I'll cheer them on, but we're not going to be in a partnership.
Well, that sounds just like what she was saying there.
No, not necessarily. If a person it depends. She could be chasing clout. She could be chasing like material things. I don't need to have like material things. I just need to know that when we come together and it's time to, let's say we want to buy a house, I don't want to be the only person down on the loan because your credit messed up or you got too much debt or whatever the case may be. Like, I want it to be a partnership. I don't want to have to carry us. So it's definitely not the same. Like, I don't need that person's money, but I don't need them to bring me down either. I don't need them.
He gonna bring you down. I thought you loved him.
Love is about action, not just emotions, which is why I would never allow myself to go there with a person who doesn't align with like my expectations.
That's fair. I mean, we all have expectations. We all have wants and desires. But I think that is, I get it, but I think that is a dangerous narrative for us to push, especially online. We just saw a clip yesterday of a young lady that apparently was teaching women how to be trophy wives, and then she found out that her husband was essaying their children, and then she also admits that he essayed her, earlier in their marriage. So it kind of seems like she's there for the same exact reason that this woman just said that she was there. And I think that even with men pointing that out, or even with men stepping up to do whatever to them, is difficult to protect someone that intentionally places themselves in harm's way.
Well,
And
it sounds like she's
that whole
superficial.
narrative sounds like.
She's superficial, right? I mean, she didn't mention anything about attraction or anything of that nature. She's just like, what's in it for me?
I mean, that's kind of what you.
I think that comes from
no, because I'm bringing a lot to the table as well.
Yeah,
it's a partnership.
Go ahead, Clout. But when you look at that wording, right? I think it's interesting when you look at the wording partnership. And I said previously, women are in business, right? And men are in love. The word partnership is formally or usually used to represent a business. Like what we're actually talking about right now is not a partnership. We're talking about companionship, which is a whole different type of relationship in general. When you're talking about a partnership, you're talking about a joining of assets, which again is business. But it just seems as though women no longer value companionship, and that's really the problem. The
and
root
I
of
do.
relationships,
I do value
especially
companionship
emotional or sexual ones. Okay, that's what's up. But overall, it does seem as though companionship is like low on the tier of what women are desiring. It's more so they want a partnership, but more so not even just a partnership, because in most partnerships it's 50-50, right? Most partnerships are equal. You know, people are both sides are equally giving to the partnership. So what it really seems is like women just want leverage, right? Like it just comes off as though what they want is they want you locked into a partnership contract, but only for the reason of having access to your assets. But then if you take away the assets, most of them are not interested in a partnership.
Not true.
This is what you and the woman just said. They said you take away the finances and the assets, then they're not interested in the partnership.
That's
so then
not what
is it really that they want the connection with the person, or is it for the assets?
I think you brought up a great point. I think companionship is important. When I think about a relationship or a partner, I'm calling it a partnership. We'll call it a relationship because I don't want you all to just think I'm talking about money and assets and whatnot. But the best way I can break it down is the homie, lover, friend narrative, right? Okay. In a relationship, I want a homie, lover, friend. A homie, somebody I can kick it with, have fun with. There has to be compatibility there. We have to actually like spending time together. Lover, like the sex has to be good. Like we have to know how to please one another. He has to know how to please me. I want to know how to please him, blah, blah, blah. And then friends, someone who I know actually cares about me if I got sick or if something happened, if I lost my job, God forbid, whatever. I know that that person will be there to help me through difficult times, and I'm going to reciprocate the same. You know what I mean? So it's not just about money, but what I'm saying is that is an important factor. You know what I mean? Like, what are you bringing to the table?
So,
but if that money was to go out the door, if I understand the person's character, then I know that person might hit hard times. I'm not leaving just when the money goes. It sounds like she would leave as soon as that money is out the door.
Now let's say that same scenario.
Those three things you gave as examples, though.
Let's say that same scenario, the setup that you just had. He's the lover, he's the friend, the homie, but he makes the same amount of money as you as a year.
That's fine. Like I never said he had to make more money than me, but he can't come like, okay, he can't be unemployed.
Of course.
Cannot be unemployed, right? He can't be trying to figure things out. Like you got to have this. What are you doing? Especially at my age, like most of the guys I date are either, like 38 or older. So if I'm talking to a 40 or 41-year-old and he's kind of like figuring his life out, what he wants to do for a living or whatever the case may be, then no, I'm not the one. And if he's unemployed, I'm definitely not the one. And it doesn't mean I'm not the one in the future, but definitely not while he's unemployed.
But no, that's fair. But I feel like that's an unrealistic.
All right, can I?
My bad, Cloud. Go ahead.
No, all good. Out of the three things you listed, right? You said homie, you said lover, and you said friend. Those were the three things you used to define the relationship you were looking for.
Saying it or urban for
none of those things Right, but my thing is that none of those things require finances, right? So if I have a homie, which is somebody I can trust, usually what actually tests your relationship with your homies is situations where y'all don't have money. If you're talking about a lover is a relationship based off of passion. Finances aren't necessary for passion. And then if you're talking about a friend, again, finances aren't necessary for a friendship. And so I have to like question it a little bit, because in this day and age, right, women have jobs, women make money, and men make money. So if everybody's making money and everybody's single and seems to be able to take care of themselves pretty well. I mean, I see women with nice bags, nice cars, nice clothes, going out, eating dinners. Why then is it specifically for women? Why is the focus always so much on finances when we're living in a time where women have money? It's not like we're in a situation where y'all don't have any money and y'all don't have your own places and y'all don't have cars. And so it would make sense for you to require these things of a man, because that's the only way you would have access to it, like in a time when women didn't have bank accounts. But with so many women making 6 figures a year, it's hard pressed for me to try to understand why finances are so important when really you only need money to take care of yourself anyway. We're not in a generation where we need each other financially. So why is that such a focus?
2 things, and then I'll let somebody else jump in. To your first point, right, the homie, lover, friend thing would fall under that umbrella of companionship. So as for me, I look for companionship and a good partner, right? So those are the 2 umbrellas. And then in terms of why I think women are so focused on finding a man who, you know, is aligned with their financial expectations is because, and I can't speak for everyone, but like especially women my age, I think it might be a trauma response because a lot of us got into relationships early. Some of us married early, like in my case. It's not personally, let me not say that. For example, if you marry young and you married just for love and y'all didn't have nothing and y'all struggled together and y'all been through like hell and back, and then you grew and your partner never grew, and then you ended up carrying you all through the duration of your marriage, then that leaves a scar and you're like, never again. Like you will never settle for anyone who's not putting forth the same energy, the same effort, the same drive to help get y'all from point A to Z. So I think a lot of women are like gung-ho on never settling because they've experienced
Can I ask a question there?
And some women maybe never have, and I'll be quiet. Some women maybe never have experienced a traumatic situation like that, but maybe it's just a lifestyle that they're used to. You know what I mean? And they're just like, I don't know anything other than this because here's what I've always experienced ever since a child. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you described something that stuck out to me is you described carrying the relationship as traumatic. And that's something that just stuck out to me because it's like, why is it that for so many women, the idea of caring for or sharing what they have with the person they claim to care, like this is the person that you're saying you love, you want this person to be your partner, right? The partners share. Why is it that whenever it comes to the portion of the relationship where women have to share with their partner, it seems as though it's traumatic to them, right? Because you just described people who you just described the woman outgrowing her partner, and what outgrowing typically means making more money, right? So she outpaced him financially, right? And so now she's making more money, and the extra that she's making, she now has to share it, or may have to consider sharing it with the person that's her partner, the person who, that's what you do with a partner, right? So I just don't get it, because when men have to share with their partners, it's never really considered like, that's considered the thing to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But whenever there's a situation where the women who are asking for partnerships have to then share with said partners, it's like, oh, well, that's traumatic. Oh, I wasn't cared for properly. I wasn't loved. But if we're a unit, then what's yours is mine and what's mine is yours anyway, right?
Right. And you know what? I left out a very important thing that was in the back of my head. And I can't speak for everyone, but for me, when I say something, that's traumatic, because if you're carrying your marriage and then you're also being cheated on, lied to, and going through hell and back in other areas, then yeah, you don't want to take the chance of going through that with another person who can't even like meet you where you're at in all the other important financial areas. And when you're getting into a relationship, you don't know whether or not you're going to be cheated on at any point in time. So it's like, at least you want to make sure that that person is a good partner. That way, if the cheating or the lying and all the other BS comes up, it's not like you have to deal with a broke situation and infidelity. That's just a very specific situation. Other women, again, might put a lot of weight on the financial piece just because money is important. You know what I mean? And you don't want someone who can't help you, like I said, get from point A to point Z. So.
Okay. Let me get Kelly and Hinkin now.
Can you run the clip again, please?
All right.
Do a lot if we really feeling you. It's the ones we don't like. We make them do it all.
So you ain't like your husband.
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
Well, I'm saying what his qualities was.
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And a nigga supposed to come with the bag?
They supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of me and my kids.
So, like you automatically get these responsibilities?
Yes.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
And how many niggas doing this?
I have between 2 or 3.
I'm saying, how many have you ran into in life?
Okay, so let's say I run into 100 dudes. Probably about 4 of them.
Yeah, they're about the odds.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with that now.
Probably about 4 of them.
They're about the odds. All right.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, so that kind of sound like you are delusional. You just catching just a sucker born every day.
Basically.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? A nigga that's, so you ain't never caught no nigga that's worth something doing that though. Am I kidding?
I probably have one. See, the way this game work is you have to get with a man who ain't used to dating back.
Would you rather have fake love that's beneficial or real love that's a liability?
Fake love that's beneficial. I'm not about to struggle with nobody.
That's cold. You have fake love. Would you rather have fake love that's an asset or real love that's a liability?
Give me the asset.
Damn, that's cold. You know everybody probably think like that.
I'm sure they do. Especially women. We won't be taken care of.
So you can know the nigga faking you out.
Yes.
Instead of having a liability nigga. Nah, that's cold.
I don't.
What you think, Sha? What you think? Fake me out.
Yeah. I ain't no believer in struggle love, baby. We too grown for that. I ain't no believer in struggle love.
What that mean? What struggle love?
Struggle love. We ain't finna be out here broke together. Can't get bills paid. You can't whine and dine me. I'm not doing that.
Damn. So you think that's a nigga? So what we gonna get? All right, if we weren't struggling, me and you in a relationship right now, what I get?
You gonna get my time, my attention, my support, good sex.
And that's worth what?
That's worth everything. That's worth you
Who
financially
said
taking
that?
care of me.
Time, support, and good sex. Go ahead, Miss Kelly J.
All right. So one of the first things she said was that she didn't like him. Okay. So that's one. She said she saw the opportunity and she took it. That's 2. At the same time, this man decided to marry her. So I'm sure he knew what his job was. I'm sure she didn't hide any of these things that she required. So my thing is, it takes 2. I'm sure she didn't put a gun to that man's head and say, marry me and take care of me and do all these things that I require. I feel like he did it because he wanted to. She seemed to be very transparent on her needs, wants, and desires. So I think it's 2 people in that situation. You know, I guess she decided to leave him. So that's just the outcome of it. That's what happens when you marry a woman like that. I feel like we all have a right to choose what we want to choose. I'm not saying that her choices are the best, but like she said, she doesn't want struggle love. I don't think any woman wants struggle love. I don't think any grown woman that can provide for herself wants struggle love, because at the end of the day, you can take care of yourself. So I think when you're out here dating and interested in someone, you're going to pick the best person that suits your needs. That's what it seems like she was saying. She also said the fake love is beneficial. So her whole relationship seemed to be fake or just based on her likes, what she wanted, not about what he needed. But she said what she had to provide was time, attention, and good sex. Maybe that was all he needed. That's my thought.
I've heard people mention the struggle love. What is struggle love?
Well, she said she didn't want to be out here broke, bills not getting paid. I don't know what else, but that seems like a struggle if you're with someone and the both of you can't do the things that need to be done. Like the things like car notes, mortgages, or, rent, food, gas, the basic needs, I guess. Oh, well, she said wine and dine too. So there's that. But I guess that's struggle love. If she's not getting those things that she wants, that's how she defines struggle love. It had to do all with finances, nothing else.
Yeah, which is why Clout, she definitely doesn't reflect what I was saying, because she even said she would prefer fake love, any day, as long as it was an asset. But I think the perfect situation would be real love, real connection, companionship, and a good partnership. So.
Hold on, Cloud. I muted you because of the feedback. Go ahead. What you say?
Go ahead, no, I wasn't saying that anyway.
All right, go ahead, Hank.
No, I wasn't saying. Yeah.
I got you.
Let me
you
break
abandoned me.
Lord.
Love don't live here anymore. That's how these women are. Shout out to Rolls Royce. God damn. I said it many times when I dropped them goddamn videos. They don't give a goddamn about your black ass fellas. They don't give a shit. And right here, we hear what some of these ladies are saying on the panel. We've seen the clip. You think I'm lying to you? You better pay attention to what Uncle Hank be telling you. He telling you the goddamn truth. Find you one that's a real one. Heifers like that, you leave to die in the woods. Don't deal with them type of heifers. They don't deserve a man. They deserve to get dog walk, used and abused, and sent back to the goddamn streets. That's the type of woman that man that she deserves. God damn, this is crazy. And the fact that, ladies, a lot of y'all agreeing with her.
No, we didn't agree with her.
Now, Brittany, I know you agree with her.
We did not agree with her. We don't want fake love. We don't just want a man for the money. Okay, she's superficial. She's not what we're talking about.
Brittany, I know you agree with her. Kelly, I'm surprised by you, man.
I told you what I
didn't agree with that woman. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
I don't agree dealing with someone and you don't even like them.
Right.
That's a waste of my time personally. I don't do that. But I didn't agree with her. Is that what you heard from my response? You heard me say
that's what it sounds like, but I could, Kelly, I could be wrong. I've been
selective hearing.
Kelly, I could be wrong. Kelly, I could be wrong. Brittany, I know you agree with her, man.
Interpretation.
No,
Brittany, you was waving a white flag for her. I know you agree with her.
Let me reiterate. I value companionship and good partnership. I'm not going to be with somebody just for the money. Like, I got to actually like them. I got to like them.
It's not convenient anymore. I understand. But just like I was saying, that Rolls Royce song, love don't live anymore. That love ain't there anymore. You out. You packing your bags and you out. And the bad thing about it, if that man goes through a hard time where he's between jobs, ladies, you still got to stick with it. I thought it was for better, for worse.
100%.
Let's rewrite these vows. Let's write. Y'all want to write.
You'll stick by the right person.
I didn't interrupt y'all, ladies. Please, can I get that? Can I get that, ma'am? Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think they need to rewrite the vows. For now, whenever you get married, just write your own vows, because ain't nobody living by the vows that's traditional vows. There ain't nobody doing no better for worse. We doing better for better. And if it gets worse, I'm getting the hell out. I ain't got time for this shit. The woman said, I seen a sucker, I licked it. Shout out to for getting a lick. Now, whether he knew it or not, I don't know. I don't know if he knew it or not. But, you know, ladies, we know y'all put on the act. And y'all will bat your eyes, probably patted that man on his head every once in a while, probably gave him some head here and there just to keep him stringing along, making him think, oh, she loved me, she down with me. Because she throwing that thing in his goddamn face every once in a while. But all in the back of her mind, she's stacking her bread, getting her little money and his money, putting checks away. Soon as that rainy day come, she ready to get up out of there. You're not think a lot of women are not loyal, and it's sad that we have to deal with that. That's sad. But then they be the first one to get mad with them brothers start going to these white women. Them brothers start going overseas and getting these international women. They feeling some type of way. Oh, y'all can't handle us. We don't want to handle you asses no goddamn more. We want a woman who's down with us. We want a woman who's going to be there when I'm going through a hard time at work and I'm coming home after putting the 12 to 14 hours. My feet hurt, my back hurt, I'm hungry. I want to be talked to, rubbed on, taken care of, kiss on my head. You know what I'm saying? Make sure a good hot plate at the table. You ladies ain't doing that no more. You going to say, here's that goddamn DoorDash. It's some goddamn McDonald's. Fuck that, man. That shit ain't right, man. That's just crazy. And ladies, I find it hard to believe, Kelly. I'm just very disappointed. I'm just saying.
What is it that you find hard to believe that I said? All I did was analyze what this woman said and broke it down. What did you hear me say that you disagree with? Because the words came from her mouth. So what you saying?
That struggle of
what I heard, it sounds like you was agreeing with her. You was okay with it. Instead, see, this when a man here sit there and say you doing all this, y'all not speaking against it. See, that's when we say, oh, okay, goddamn, sounds like she's in agreement. If you don't speak against the shit, it sounds like you're agreeing with it. That's like Tuesday. I was getting on Darwin about the shit he did on the Thursday. I disagree with what he was saying he did. And I challenge you. I didn't sit there and let him pass and say, no, we challenge you. If we don't agree, we'll say something. We don't just sit there and watch it go past us and don't say nothing. That's bullshit, because now it sounds like y'all all in the same boat, in my opinion.
Okay, well, I didn't speak against her because of her very first statement, which was just that she didn't even like him.
Right.
So she ended up getting with this man. If he fell for her BS, that's on the both of them. I'm not going to say, well, she shouldn't have did this and she shouldn't have did that, because this world is made up with more than just one personality type. So all I'm saying is that, hey, this was her decision, but this was his decision too. Did she even call this man a simp? I don't know. But whatever the case may be, people do what works for them. She did what worked for her. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because everybody has a different relationship. Everybody has different relationships. You do what you do with your wife because that's what works for you. But Viz might do something else with his wife that works for him. So all I'm saying is that, hey, this was her story. Everybody's got a different story, Hank. Everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't have the same perspective, the same outlook. Everybody's different, and they do what works for them. She eventually said, hey, this doesn't work for me anymore. She started out wrong by doing this marriage with him, knowing that she didn't even like him. So
yeah, but Kelly, I think the problem here is that in a situation,
I didn't speak against her.
For sure,
that's what he just said.
I would definitely say that for sure.
But I'm not here to judge people like that. I'm just here to analyze and give my perspective.
Well, no, that's
cool. If this
cool.
is the great debaters, then I don't know. Maybe I'm on the wrong show.
Well, no, I get you on that. I understand that part, but I think that on the flip side, if it was a guy doing that, the women would expect for men to address the man. So more so what we're hearing from the ladies is that, oh, I understand why she's doing that, because she doesn't want to go through struggle love. That's essentially what
That's not what we said, though, Viz.
To be fair, Kelly,
when I get it.
Hold on. So that is essentially what the both of you guys said. It wasn't really any time being focused on this is a terrible idea. This can
It
put
is a
you
terrible idea to just date somebody
right,
without
but I'm saying, but that part
you
wasn't the focus. The focus was that we don't want to go through struggle love, so I understand why they did it, basically.
No, we're not just
I didn't say we don't want to go through struggle love, so I understand why she did. I didn't say that, so don't misquote me. Okay, let's just start there.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, I feel like when these situations do come up, I like, even me as a girl, when it's the gas, I do be like, Kelly, say something. But Kelly like, nah, if they like it, I love it. I feel like she's like that when it comes to men and women situations. She's just like,
I hear people out.
Yeah, you don't really care. But how I feel about her, like I said in the chat before I came back on her, yes, I feel like she's a heifer. I cannot stand women like that. That's the type of woman, she'll be crying and stuff to get what she want, but not crying because she really emotional. Like, she make it hard for women like me to really come in and just be myself, because then niggas gonna think everything that I'm doing that's feminine or whatever could be game. And then the fact that she left him too, and then she still like, yeah, it didn't work for her, but she still has the same mind frame. It don't even sound like she learned from the divorce that what she did was wrong. And then for him, I feel like a lot of men, he took on a responsibility that most men, I feel like, should take on. Like, that he tried to be a leader. He tried to, like, believe in her and do what he was supposed to do as a man, just to show her, like, damn, whatever your type is obviously not gonna get you this. So maybe you should change your definition of love. And that bitch didn't. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't stand when she was talking. It was irritating my ears so bad, because it's not often that I hear women talk like that. And like, I ain't gonna lie, when I see them on my timeline, it don't pop up that often. Because once I hear the beginning, it's next. I don't even want to hear what's coming afterwards, because I already know I disagree with. And I've been trying to just entertain things I agree with versus don't disagree with. But what's crazy is it just popped up on my timeline again before I came in. And
Okay.
See,
ladies, why y'all couldn't give a passionate reply like that? You know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm saying?
tell you why. Because y'all do men like that. When y'all hear what a man do wrong, y'all tell us like, okay, this is probably his situation, but y'all don't get on his ass.
But y'all get on our ass though.
I told you how I am. I'm gonna do both. So I'm gonna come here and show you who I am. I was waiting for y'all to bring up a bitch I disagree with, because I'm gonna get in her ass, because that's not.
I personally don't think that he didn't know who she was.
That's what I'm saying. I feel bad for him.
So no, y'all can't say that, because when we say that, y'all feel combated. And
he knew who she was. It's hard not to know who someone is that you've been with for a number of years. And just like when we look on social media and we see these rappers with these models and they take all their money and they do all these things, and we was like, oh, we knew she was gonna do that. So it's kind of like they know who they get with. These guys know that. If we know they're a simp, they know they're simps. We see them coming a mile away. People like me, Brittany, and Kelly, we're like, we could get a simp today. You know what I mean? But we value other things in relationships.
Yeah. See, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't agree with exactly, but I would never date somebody just for their money.
No.
I would never look at somebody and classify them as a simp and go after them and target them. That is not my MO. Never been my MO.
Panel would do that.
That's a different
Think about
type
how
of
much
woman
time you
who
got
spoke
to waste
in that video. That's not the same type of woman.
And think about what time you got to waste to do that. She said 4 in 100 men. 4 in 100 men. That's wasting a lot of fucking time. That's wasting
some people have time to waste though.
That's true. Some people do, but I can't stand it, because it make us look bad. And then when we start to talk about things that she's using as a weapon to get what she wants, niggas don't take us seriously.
Well, maybe that's why he married her, because of the time, attention, and good sex. Maybe he was getting exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
I just have to play devil's advocate, because every time a conversation like this comes up, and men will say, well, you knew the nigga was a nothing ass nigga, you know what I'm saying, before you cracked them raw. and it's still somehow on the man. But right now, instead of y'all, you know what I'm saying, putting it all on the woman and leaving it there, is, well, he knew what he was getting, and but when it's flipped, y'all didn't know what y'all knew what y'all was getting, but y'all don't want to admit to y'all knowing.
I don't think he knew
what you was getting.
I stated that it was both parties.
I don't think he understood what he was getting. I think she pretended to be this soft woman who could be influenced, that's submissive. I don't think she was as transparent. She was transparent about the financial things, but she wasn't transparency on how manipulative she was. I don't think she was transparent on that. I think women go in and they sit there and play this victim role, like, I need saving, I need help, I need you. And by you coming to save me, I love you and I want to be with you, knowing you don't even like this man. That's why he married her. Because she did all the right things. She looked at his insecurities and she panned to him. Oh, he need attention. He ain't never had a bad bitch. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go. And that's why I can't stand him. Because when guys see me, as soon as they see me, beautiful women, y'all understand, they tend to put us in this box like we automatically want something or we automatically need something. It's because the bitch is like that. For real, for real. For real, for real. And it pisses me off because it makes my job a lot harder.
All right, hold on, y'all. Let me get Shannon now. Shannon, you get a chance to go yet?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Is that me echoing? Oh no. So I agree. It is very disgusting. This is the video because I just got locked off. It's the video with the girl talking to the guy in the chair, right? And she okay. So I agree. I do not like women who get on the internet and say things like this. Because for men, they see that one person, like, oh, this is all of y'all. You know, I don't know why they think it's all of us, but when they do something, it's just that one person. It's not everybody. It's that chick. And people, obviously, she has people who are just like her. We do not agree with her. She is absolutely wrong. She should not write like that. But I would say that is no different from the guy who uses, I think on King Talk, y'all talk about men putting women in a category, using her for sex. How are they different? They are both users, okay? So the reaction you're looking for these ladies to give that woman is the same reaction you should have given to men talking about they using women and putting women in certain categories for sex. We gave the same reaction.
I gave that reaction.
Now, I will want to say this about you, Viz, because Viz, you showed up at King Talk. I was like,
what?
Yeah. You in there, Viz. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a little shout out because there was some stuff in there. I was like, okay,
Viz. He did too, though. Shout out to him, King.
Okay. So, but I just wanted to say it's the same thing. Two people using each other. Women be using men be using women for different reasons, right? And the reason, I mean, going back to the topic, that's why it's impossible dating, because we don't know who the manipulators are. They so good at manipulating. You know, everybody, the good people getting caught in the crossfire. We don't know who's who. And I heard the young lady, what's Brittany? I heard her story, and I think of it this way, because I think that people underestimate that there are men who get in relationships for a come up too. Right? There's nothing attractive about a woman who's not doing anything, and there surely ain't nothing attractive about a man who's not doing anything. A woman will respect a man who is trying to grind, even if he's not making enough money. You know, those hardworking men back in the day who used to grind. Maybe they're not bringing enough money in, but you saw them working. They were working hard for their family. Nobody is going to disrespect that man, you know, because he's a hard worker.
No, Brittany just said she wouldn't give him a chance.
Listen, we're talking about the man.
She said we wouldn't even get there. We won't even get to.
No, we're talking
I don't
about
even
the
think
guy.
we want to fall in love. That's literally what she just said.
So we're talking about the guy who
love. We ain't even. I ain't even finna talk to the nigga.
First of all, I'm trying not to be
man. Hey,
let me
man,
finish
y'all
twisting my words.
don't come on here capping, man.
Listen.
Chad, don't come on here capping.
So for Brittany, I get it. If he's hustling, that's a different type of man from a man who's just sitting there letting you hustle and he just riding, right? Two different types of people. I don't know which one you're talking about, but two different types of people. But as far as the comment that you just made about women don't see it the other way around, you were saying something about, oh, you know, she dated him for potential. She can't take the ownership. You dated the wrong guy. Well, shit, she may be dating the wrong guy. He's sitting there looking at her hustle. and he ain't doing nothing. He the wrong guy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, two people should be working together collectively to make something happen. There should be a vision, and you both are working your damnedest to get that vision going. Because I promise you, if you had a lazy chick in your house, she wasn't doing anything, the house was just nasty, she wasn't cooking, she wasn't helping with the kids, she was just lazy, you have a problem. That's how women look at men who don't want to work.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I only said that because in this case, when the shoe is on the other foot, you know what I'm saying? There's no expect pushback on the fact that she's doing that. It was more so, oh, that's not cool, but I understand why she's doing it. You know, that was essentially the narrative.
We never said we understood why she's doing it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's right. What we did say was we don't want to be with a man who can't hold his own financially.
That's you saying that you understand why she's,
and I don't agree with it.
That's you saying.
I don't agree with it.
That's literally you saying that I understand why she's doing it. That
yeah,
I get that may not be how you want to generalize it, but the generalization of that is I wouldn't do that, but I understand why.
I don't understand. I don't condone anybody taking advantage of somebody else's weaknesses, though. So I'm not saying the same thing. I'm not saying I understand.
Well, let's just be real here. Is anybody interested in signing up for Struggle Love? I mean, we're all adults.
They're not interested in it either.
We're not children. So
nobody, men or women.
No,
ladies,
stop sitting here acting like it's okay to struggle.
All right, speak for your goddamn selves. Speak for your goddamn selves.
Hey, we know we already know the kind of woman you're not married. Don't play that.
Well, so when y'all talk about that's okay to struggle love, that's probably a man that's looking to save a woman, right? And so obviously there are men out here like that who need to feel needed. Every man doesn't need that. Some men want to feel wanted. So maybe that's you, Hank. I don't know. Maybe you want to feel needed. Maybe you need a woman that's coming in the gate. Hey, I need this, and that. Maybe that works for you. I don't know, but I don't think any of the women up here are ready to sign up for struggle love, because most women can probably provide for themselves already. So they're not looking to enter a relationship with a man who's bringing them down to ground level when they built so many things for themselves already. I don't know.
That part, Kelly. That part.
So can I speak?
Quick question, ladies. Quick question.
Hold on. Hold on, we're gonna get Cloud in and let's get Pink in. Then we'll get that. Go ahead, Cloud.
Yeah, my question is, why is it that someone who doesn't match your ambitions is considered to be bringing you down? Like, why is it that they just can't be a different kind of person? Like, maybe you like Benzes and maybe he likes Ford trucks. Just because y'all are together, right? Why does that mean that because you want to drive a Benz that he got to go get a Benz too? Or like, because every way that y'all describe struggle love is a person not wanting what you want. Like if one of y'all said that, well, if he don't want the same things I want, and it's like, well, why does he have to want what you want?
Well, I didn't describe struggle love as that.
I described
struggle love as not being able to pay the bills, not being able to take care of the mortgage or the rent or the car note, food, gas. That's how I describe struggle love. I didn't say anything about a Mercedes. Where'd you get that from? Hello?
It was an example. But again, the reason why I don't understand the struggle love thing, right? The reason why I still don't understand it is because when y'all say pay the bills, right? When you met him, he was paying his bills. And when he met you, you were paying your bills. So why should anything change just because y'all now y'all dealing with each other? It's like, why do you care so much about how he pays his bills unless your real goal is to get him to pay your bills?
Who said this was a man who was already paying anything? This could just be a man that she ran into that she thought was physically attractive.
How he living?
She don't know nothing about him. But then when she goes out on dates and she finds out he can't pay for the bill, maybe she's realizing, oh my God, this is a struggle relationship because now I'm having to reach in my wallet every time. He might live with his parents or something. He may have just gotten out of prison. I don't know. But all I'm saying is that struggle love is a relationship.
Struggle relationship means you got past the dating stage.
Entering the relationship and they cannot carry their weight. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say anything about a vehicle.
Well, my definition I think what that
so if the average man makes more money than the woman and he's always paying the bill, so he's automatically signed up for struggle love then. Because you heifers ain't making enough goddamn money. I'm paying all the goddamn bills. I'm already in a struggle level. I just ain't put the title on it. That's what you're pretty much saying. That's not true. No, let me finish.
By your definition, that's struggle level.
I don't interrupt nobody.
No.
So when y'all saying it, that's what you're saying. That's an automatic struggle love. So man deal with struggle love on a regular basis. We just accept it. Maybe it's them double standards we accept. I guess we okay with it. But let's go back to this, man. Again, a lot of ladies with this materialistic mindset. That's how they think. Well, if the money ain't right, I don't want to be there. Ma'am, when your grandparents was married, they didn't have shit. The only thing they had was love in each other. But somehow, some way, they found a way to make it. But y'all materialistic women in 2024, y'all got to have all the latest and greatest, the newest thing, the biggest bags, the biggest homes, the greatest car, and all that. Now y'all want it all. What's wrong with if you did? Hold on, ma'am. What's wrong with if you do struggle for maybe a month or two, or maybe even a whole year before the man comes up and gets on? But now, see, y'all don't want that. Y'all want the man. He's already ready, made, and go where he's making that bag. Well, y'all ain't coming ready made because mentally y'all tapped out. Mentally, some of y'all are immature. Mentally, some of y'all just not there. Emotionally, I know y'all not there because y'all still mad and upset about your last boyfriend.
But we're not talking about emotions.
So, to be fair, I don't think. Okay, to be fair, when they say struggle love, I think they mean like loving somebody based on survival. You get what I'm saying? Like, I need this person in order to have this life. So I think that's what they're speaking about, struggle love. Because respectfully, I used to think that way. Like, oh, let me date this guy. I see the potential in him. If I could just do this, and that, and, help him get on his shit, it'll work. But even when I heard the examples y'all give of like what men who are ready to take care of a household, y'all always let us know that we can't do that as women. He has to find his way. He has to go find him a male figure or a male in his life to teach him how to do that. We can't do that for men. And I think a lot of good women, especially like who think like the way that I do, we tend to get ourselves and the reason why we think like this is because we lack the father, right? We lack the father. We don't know exactly where a man is supposed to be financially at what point in his life and what he's supposed to be providing. So I understand where the woman is coming from. You can't date a man that's saying, I want a family, but he's not moving like he want a family. He's not working like he want a family. He's not taking, like, most of his time is not spent on trying to create that family. They don't want to come into a situation where they have to motivate a man, especially when it might not work anyway. He needs a man to help him with that, just based on what I've heard on the podcast from the men.
All right, nah, that's not what they're saying. Did you not hear them talk about financial? They said financial. If he can't pull his wall out and pay for the meal, that's struggle love. They didn't say nothing about what you was talking about. They're talking about financial.
But
that's what they consider struggle love.
But Hank, you even said it. Like when you talk about men, you say y'all.
They said wine and dine in the video.
That's what the lady in the video said.
But even the men say it. They say they feel like their job, all the husbands on this panel say their job is to take care of the household, pay the bills, make sure the kids
and provide.
Yes, that's what y'all said a man's job. If a man is not working towards, like, it's okay to work towards it, but if a man, like she said, at 38 to 40, and you not having something substantial, something concrete, that's a red flag.
It is because it's a lack of stability matters.
You realize the provision is more than just financially providing for somebody.
I agree.
How about the mentally providing for? Now y'all don't agree. Y'all with everything is strictly about money and cash and money. That's all y'all talking about.
This is what the lady said in the video. Let's not get off course.
Okay. All right, y'all, let me get Angie.
We're talking about her, not necessarily the women on the panel. We're talking about a video that was shown.
All right, I want to get Angie.
And all of a sudden it gets flipped to all the women on the panel.
All right, I want to get Angie in there, and then let me go to Sham on there.
Y'all hot as hell tonight.
I just wanted to understand, like,
not hotter than you in that coat.
Oh shit.
Go ahead, Angie.
I just wanted to know what
she had that reply in a tuck.
Hey, she was waiting. She was waiting to use that one.
I know it just came off the top.
I give you that one. Stay on your toes, Kelly.
That's right.
All right, what you say, Angie?
I just wanted to know, because it's a lot of, I feel like it when we talk about like provisions and a man providing, or what each person should be providing in a relationship, people understandings of that. So I just wanted to understand where the men think that it's appropriate for, like, not appropriate, but what a man thinks is reasonable for a woman or another person to expect them to come with when it comes to provision. So like you say, a lot of the women, or I didn't see the video, but the video talked about like physical or materialistic things. And obviously we understand that when we talk about struggle love, it can have various meanings outside of just materialistic things, you know. Just having a scarcity mindset, you can find yourself in situations where you're in struggle love. But like I said, I just wanted to see what the man thought was appropriate for women to expect coming into a situation where you want her to fully, be in it with you, or exclusive or whatever, or even just dating.
Yeah, like what should a man have? Like, I want to know that too, because I know y'all have told us before, if a man can't take a woman out on a date, he shouldn't be dating. So what should a man have when going into dating?
I mean, well, yeah, that'll be the basic.
Are y'all gonna actually listen? Or are y'all gonna just, as soon as we say something y'all don't agree with, y'all gonna cut the fuckers off? What we gonna do here?
I'm listening.
So first things first, if you are in a relationship, are in the process of dating or vetting a man for your relationship, first of all, you need to make sure that man has some type of leadership. He can have all the goddamn money in the world, but if he has lack of leadership, lack of priorities, lack of purpose, all that's all for nothing. He just will be a rich asshole providing for you. Is that all you want? That just shows how shallow you heifers are. But you got to make sure he has those certain qualities about him. If he doesn't have them, you shouldn't be getting with him. Unless you like being used and abused, and then he'll toss your ass back out in the streets.
All right. Go ahead, Vez, and then Cloud, you want to chime in?
I mean, Hink said enough.
Okay, church.
But I want you guys to dig. Okay, so you say leadership, right? Leadership can mean a wide range of things. Give me an example of what that looks like. Like leadership in terms of his community, leadership in terms of his job, leadership in like wanting to tell a woman everything she should or shouldn't do. Like what type of leadership? If we could just break that down.
Well, yeah, I think that varies on.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that kind of varies from woman to woman to what they would appreciate. Some women.
Sorry, Biz, you echoing in the background. I can hear you.
Yeah. Let's make sure I'm muted in between y'all. Is getting feedback. So if I mute you, it's only because I'm trying to reduce the echo. Go ahead, Viz.
Yeah, so I think that it depends on what type of woman it is. Some women would appreciate a leader at work to where he's in a high position. Some women may not care about that. How are you a leader amongst your friends? You know, are you a leader in your community? Are you a leader in your church? Are you even with removing the term leader, because all men aren't leaders realistically. So is this man an amazing student? You know, is he someone that follows a very powerful leader, you know, where he's gaining and gathering information from him? So I think as far as with the leadership thing, the values of that differ from woman to woman, because us 4 men right now on the panel, we will probably excel better in leadership in different areas than the other. You know, Hink may be better at verbally teaching someone versus me being better at visually showing someone. You know, those different things play a huge factor into what the woman is willing to submit to.
Go ahead, Clout.
To answer the leadership part, I would say you can look for intellectual leadership, and I think an easy way to determine that is simply by asking for advice, or giving him the opportunity to make a decision, and then seeing how that decision turns out. You know, I think putting men in just in those positions is a good way to see how they can lead. But I wanted to hear the original question that you asked, because it wasn't leadership. You asked another question, and I didn't get the opportunity to answer.
I was basically asking, what do you men on the panel think is an appropriate range of expectation when it comes to a man? I'm not a man, and a woman coming into the dating phases with a man, because I think that there's some confusion there. Like, I know easier to talk about what he can pay for, but we all know a functioning relationship takes more than a man who can pay for things, because we need other factors to contribute, right? So when we talk about leadership, we talk about someone, first of all, who has a sense of integrity, someone who looks out for the well-being of other people, someone who has a vision, you know what I'm saying? Like someone who inspires others. Like we throw around provider and submit and leadership a lot, but a lot of people really don't understand what that means in depth, and so we feel this sense of entitlement when it comes to the next person. But yeah, so my question was, what should a woman expect from a man coming into the dating phases?
Yeah, I don't even know if those characteristics that you just labeled are actual, like, standalone leaders qualities.
But they are. If you just, I'm not just saying this just because it's my opinion. If you kind of like take a deeper dive into what it means, you're saying.
I get what you're saying. Maybe the definition that women use by default, I don't think fits those qualities. I mean, from what you just said, that's just a solid person. That's a solid man. So,
but like if he's a leader in general, then obviously that's going to translate into being a leader for whatever partner you choose. Like so they're like transferable skills in a sense.
Right,
you know?
but that still doesn't mean that man is a good leader.
So what makes a man a good leader?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do to determine that, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can look at a lot of things like credit score. You know, does he pay his bills on time? You know, what does his crib look like? Is it tidy? Is it clean? Is it stuff all over the place? Is it untidy? What does his car look like? Is his car well maintained? Does it have a check engine light that's been there for 6 months? Or, you know, are the tires damn near bald, or are the tires, you know, always fresh and washed and clean? How does he maintain his hair? Does he always have a lineup? Does he always have his beard groomed, or is he disheveled half the time? You know, I think there are a lot of things that you can use to determine a person's ability to lead themselves. And then by judging their ability to lead themselves, you can judge how they can lead others oftentimes.
I don't know about that example, because I know some good leaders who are not, they're not that, I'm trying not to use the word organized, because I don't want you.
Well put together. I would say well put together.
Yeah,
I don't know a good leader that's not organized.
I know leaders who are well put together, but they might not have the cleanest home. They might hire somebody. They might not be natural organizers. You know what I mean? They're more of like, you know, go-getters on the move. They don't have a lot of time to do all of those other things. So it might get out of, you know, tact every now and again, but they're still good leaders.
Which would be poor time management. That would indicate poor time management, which would indicate poor leadership skills.
Or maybe it's not a priority. It just might not be a priority.
Angie, what I'm trying to figure out your question from
Even if it's not a priority, someone who has proper leadership skills will find a way to take care of the things that aren't a priority.
For sure. Like they'll hire somebody to do it for them. For sure.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead. Hold on. I think Kelly had a question for Angie. Go ahead.
So, Angie, your question to the men was, what are the expectations when dating a woman? Is that, was that?
What is it? What's
What do you think
reasonable
the
for a woman
woman's
to expect?
expectations are?
Yeah, like what's reasonable for women to expect when going into the dating? Like y'all say, he has to be
And
somewhere. Or he
let her
can't just...
answer it, Di. She was asking
Yeah,
Angie.
your name ain't Angie, Di. Come on now.
My question was this, because I hear a lot of disagreement when it comes, like a lot of pushback when I hear you guys, or even other conversations where women are saying, okay, this is what a man needs to have to be a provider. You know, it always gravitate towards financial or materialistic things, right? So I was just, and men push back a lot on that, you know, and there's just a lot of support. So I'm just trying to get the man's understanding of what they feel like if their mother or if their daughter, or if a loved one who was a woman was entering a relationship with the man, what should she expect, you know, in the entry part of the dating phase and the entry part of the commitment phase? Let's just make it a little bit more specific so it won't be.
What do the men
Like
think a woman's expectation should be when you're starting out in a relationship?
Like what they feel like is appropriate for a woman to expect coming into the beginning of the dating stage versus coming into the commitment stage.
Now,
So you didn't receive none of what I said, though. You didn't receive none of what I said, Angie, at all. I mean, what I said was just
I heard
consistency.
So, but why did we get away from the one thing we talked about leadership? There was other things that I said besides just leadership.
I didn't
look. A man has to have
things.
A man has to have purpose. He has to have morals. Those are very important things as far as a man that you should be looking for in a man. He has leadership. He does provide, but he provides for you mentally. Because, like I said before, some of you women will let the boiling water cook over, and it'll ruin your whole goddamn day. And that man's got to talk your ass off the goddamn ledge and bring you back because you allow that boiling water to ruin your whole goddamn day. Or you let one of your girlfriends say some silly shit at work, mess your whole day up. Now you bringing that shit home to him. I'll be goddamn. So now I got to get you back in that safe space where I need you mentally, where we could actually have a civil conversation because you was all mad at your coworker because what happened. That's part of that provision a man has to provide. But every time we hear y'all talk about it, it's always a wallet. It's always the man's wallet, what he could provide. If he could provide these things, if he could provide that big home for me, if he could buy the meals, if he could pay all the bills. That's what we always hear y'all say when y'all talk about provision. None of that other stuff. We just hear y'all talking about money.
Can I speak, please? Back to what I was asking Angie, and I think that her response was, what do the men think women should expect when dating? What are some of the things that a woman should when dating? Not what should the man provide to a woman? What is it that you all think a woman should expect in dating? What are the things that you think a woman is looking for?
She changed the question though that second time.
I said that to Angie, and I asked her if my answer was acceptable. So I guess you didn't hear what I said.
Hank, your answer, your response did respond to the question that I asked about what do we understand leadership to be. And Kelly, you're more so focused, wants us to discuss the question that you just that I said. So it's just both of you guys are not wrong. It's just I think that you're talking about two different questions. I did ask two questions.
Okay.
Answer. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Do the men have a response?
Go ahead, Cloud.
I've been trying to answer. I think there are plenty of things that a woman can expect. She should expect. She should expect honesty. She should expect consistency. She should expect respect. She should expect clear communication. She should expect gentleness and kindness. She should expect protection in the sense of like defensiveness, like protecting you from harm's way. She should expect care, consideration. I mean, there's so many things that a woman should expect from a man that I think are not necessarily quantifiable in a material way. She should expect intelligence. You know, like she should expect poise, thoughtfulness, all of those things. Anybody else want to add?
Yeah, I can just add on to it. You should expect somebody to be like intentional, somebody to not have you confused. You know, some and always be like, you know, like what's going on here? Like what are we doing? Because it isn't clear. But somebody that's intentional, they don't leave you in confusion. Something else that you can expect is there has to be some understanding. You know, understanding from both sides. So I think that's something that you should be able to expect because you got to think about it. There's two different people from different parts of the world or different upbringings, different experiences. Some may have the experience, some may not. Some may have too much, some may have traumatic. So just expect it to be work. And work is not necessarily a bad thing. I think any relationship requires some form of work. And you have to be able to evaluate that case by case. So you can't have everything was when I first met my ex, everything was all good. You know, we hit it all well, but then I meet you and I'm already seeing these things. That's a whole different person. So whatever things that you got used to with the ex, you got a whole new set. You might have more, you might have little, but either way, it's still going to be some form of work because you got two completely different people.
Well, maybe it was my country accent that Kelly or Angie couldn't hear. That's because I said about 5 different things, but Kelly acted like I didn't say a goddamn thing, but one thing about leadership, and that's the only thing I said. I said a man has to be one who has some type of moral. It's more than just about, like I said, leadership. You got to provide more than just financially. He's got to make sure he's an upstanding person in the community. He's got to have some type of ability to communicate. All of those things are very important as a leader. You know, it's all about being not only just being a good communicator. You got to be a great listener, because men are going to have to do a lot more listening than communicating. Ladies, y'all do all the communicating. Y'all do all the talking. Y'all doing it tonight, and y'all doing a great job of talking tonight. I appreciate y'all for doing all the good talking. But we need some great listeners, and that's what men have to be, because we have to cipher through a lot of stuff that y'all say and try to figure it out. Because y'all sometimes get all over the place. Y'all be over here 1 minute, and then you be over there 1 minute, and then we got to figure out and maneuver through this maze and try to understand it and then come up with some type of solution.
Okay. Let me play this clip and then just to add to the conversation, and let's make sure we haven't spoken too much. Aisha, you good? You got something you want to add to it? Okay. Give me a second. I get to you. I know Miss Dad wanted to get in there as well. So let's make sure we shut a mic, y'all. There's the video at. Here we go.
Good either way. But my sex was fire when all the bills was paid and I was well taken care of. And it goes to that equally yoked being honored. What I was saying to you is that if a woman doesn't feel honored and a woman doesn't feel covered and there's no provision, then a woman naturally doesn't feel the desire to submit. Yeah. Good sex is about submission. It's not about just being nasty or freaky, because you can have nasty, freaky sex and it can still be horrible after the orgasm. But when you are in a state of full submission, because this man is fully covering you and everything about you is turning you on, how do you think it's going to do for him when you lay with him and you have intimacy with this man? Because you're not only making love to the man that you're attracted to, you're making love to the man that's covering you. And that's a whole different level of intimacy right there.
Yeah, she literally just said the same thing basically that the first chick said. Like it's saying that if you can't provide,
pay the bills, get it wet.
You know what I'm saying? That's to me, that's not what intimacy is. Intimacy is us connecting on the level that surpasses physical and mental. Like we're like this, regardless of if I make 6 figures or whatever. You know, I understand women wanting to to feel protected and covered in the sense of a man having the money to do such. But when it's being solely focused on the only way that a woman is going to give you full intimacy and full submission is if you're paying all of the bills. Now,
okay, Viz, hold on, Viz. We got 6 women on the panel, so let's just ask them. What does intimacy look like for them? That was just what she said, but let's just ask them, like, what does it for them? Go ahead, Angie.
I do want to say really quick. I think that we always come to this place where it's just like, oh, well, intimacy. All women always talk about getting the bills paid. And like I was saying earlier, it's easier to use it as an example because it's a physical thing, right? But most women are not just talking about getting the bills paid. I think overall, the experience of however way you come in making her life easier, however that means for that specific woman, it gives her a sense of stability and security to be able to let her guards down and to open herself up in that way. And unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic society, so how things are managed in that way is a factor in how intimacy is between two partners. You know what I'm saying? Because we have two people's finances almost coming together, not as in marriage, but I mean, you start to wonder what the other person is making and how they will contribute once you start to really like them and you get past like the romantic phase. Like those types of things matter. Now, do we put too much emphasis on them? Yes, but we can't just completely remove them from how intimacy is met between men and women. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
How is the intimacy met between men and women?
Intimacy is met, like you said, it's met mentally, which, I tie mental and emotional together, spiritually and, physically all together. And physical not only is talking about sex, but it's talking about how we work together well in this world, how we cohabitate in this home. You know what I'm saying? How those types of things.
So do you agree with what she said?
I believe that is part of it. Yes. I believe she used the bills and things as an example. But like she said, I completely agree that when a woman feels secure, when she is honored, she is more naturally inclined to just completely be more receptive to be submissive. That's just the nature. You know what I'm saying? And it may be different for us in America than it may be in the Middle East or certain parts of Africa. Like, it just depends on what the culture is like that affects how two people come together with intimacy and make each other feel secure.
Yeah, I think that's fucked up.
Go ahead, Kobe.
I was gonna say, I kind of I understand where the lady's coming from. I think the man is overlooking the fact that, for instance, I had to come to a realization about my Instagram page, right? I went to in person talking with Lapeef and them, and they used my page as an example on if a man was to date me based on my page, would they mattress or marriage me? And based on certain pictures that were on my page, especially a lot of them from when I was younger, they said mattress. Now, my guy friends who know me, they like, damn, you dress up like that like 3 times a year. Of course you're gonna want to show out. Like that's you going out with your homies. But I'm like, but that's not what guys see on my Instagram. So guys can end up getting the wrong woman because he's looking at her Instagram and judging her strictly based on her outfit, but not really getting to know her mind. What she think, is this a woman he can communicate with so he can be effective and lead her? They're not thinking of things like that. But to say but that is a good way to determine whether or not a woman respects or love herself. So when it comes to a man at a certain age not having certain things, like she said, when you first talk, that's the intimate part. I'm getting to know you. I like the way you think, everything. You got potential, but are you feeding your potential? You know what I'm saying? And you can tell if a man is feeding his potential and leading himself in life if by 38 he's in a certain spot. Now, if you in 38 and you still not concrete on what you want to do with your life, where you want to go and things of that nature, anyone would say that's a red flag, just like the pictures on my page. But when people get to know me, they like, damn, why are you presenting yourself like that? You don't understand presenting yourself like that makes people like that's first impression almost, if that makes any sense. And we're not saying money is everything, but based on how you describe, how the men describe a provider and a good man, it's like, okay, this is not the only quality I'm looking for, but having this quality kind of it kind of helps move you out that red flag zone. You don't want to completely discredit it, because then you have a big liability on your hands and you're expecting this man to come in and take care of the household. And I agree with her when it comes to women. If I'm not being taken care of, if I don't feel safe emotionally, if I don't feel like I can come to you and ask you for advice, if I feel like when I am, like Hank said, in a mode, can you calm me down correctly? Can you, all that stuff matters. But a man who is not providing, how can he give me that? He's too busy trying to figure out how to get the household together and do all this and that. My emotions can be added on to what he's trying to do in the household, and he's not purposely trying to come off like that. But if I'm in a position, you know what I'm saying, like it's just a red flag just based on what I heard y'all speak about me. And these men, they're not, they so focused on the house and trying to get that together. How can he pan to your emotions, from what I've heard?
All right, go ahead, Aisha.
For me, I think that intimacy is multifaceted. I think that it encompasses a lot of things. And just to be honest, I don't want to have sex if we 3 months behind on the rent. Like, if you can't afford to pay bills, then the intimacy, to me, that's going to be a contributing factor. So I think with that being said, it goes both ways. I think someone else said it. Like, you're more likely to be submissive and to be on a different intimate plane with someone if you feel like you're taken care of, and this man is leading you and taking care of you, and you guys have this connection with one another. Of course, it's going to be a totally different experience. But that's not solely just based on money. Like, I think she used money as an example, but it's never just based on money. Because you can date a man with money and his intimacy is trash. So I don't think that it's solely based on money. I think that it's a number of things that goes into play when it comes to intimacy and relationships.
And but the problem is that she didn't say that. She specifically used money in that example. And I'm quite sure all of the women was, oh yeah, in the audience. So
You gotta watch the rest of the podcast. You gotta watch the whole podcast.
But she didn't just talk about money. She emphasized being honored, and she used taking care of the bills as one of the ways to honor your home, is to make it your responsibility, or or mostly your responsibility to take care of those things, because it makes her life easier.
I get that. So Aisha had used an example in which was an extreme. She said that if we 3 months behind, then I don't want to have sex. I get that. But what if you're in a stable home, all of the bills are paid, you guys have an understanding, verbally, contractually, whatever, as to how the bills are being paid, you have a whole setup, everything is going good. From what she said, essentially, is that I'm not going to fully submit to you and give you this full amount of intimacy that I have to give unless everything is being covered. I think that's a good part of the message.
I didn't get that.
And I think
that's literally what she said, though.
I didn't hear that.
I mean,
and
I can chime in and share. Oh, go ahead, Aisha.
I think that for most women, I know for me, there are levels to submission. Okay, first of all, let's start there. Secondly, if I have already decided, like we're already past that phase, right? I've already submitted to you. You know what I'm saying? I can't then be like, oh, well, I'm going to scratch this away and scratch this away. I've already submitted to you. I've already given you my all. I've already did everything, right? So say for instance, the rent don't get paid. You lose your job, right? It's as your wife, right? I'm supposed to step in and cover those bills. But for how long?
Why do we keep going to the rent isn't getting paid? Why can't we just have?
Well, let me add another perspective outside of money.
Well, no, let's just discuss a mutual healthy relationship where all of the bills are being paid and there's no I have to cover everything. Maybe it's 60-40, 70-30, whatever the case may be, but it's a mutual and happy relationship. Is that man still not supposed to receive the amount of intimacy and submission?
Did you hear what she said? She said, how long is she supposed to do that? How long is she supposed? You're supposed to do it as long as it takes, ladies. Why has it got to be a time limit on how you should support your husband if he's in that situation? Why has it got to be a time limit? So I got 30 days in order to get my shit financially right, and if I don't get it in 30 days, you out?
No,
what the time limit? Hold
on, one mic.
I was sitting there saying, how long should you have to do that? As long as it takes. But then you putting a time limit on it, that lets me know your love is conditional, not unconditional.
No, okay. So can I just chime in real quick? So
hold on, Brittany. Hold on. We're gonna go Brittany. Okay, we're gonna go Brittany. Let's go Clout, Shan, and let's check in with Kelly, and then let's make sure we go in that order, y'all, just so we can make sure we spreading the mic.
So when I think of intimacy, right? Intimacy is closeness, right? And how do you become close with somebody? It's not just about the money, right? Because you can have somebody paying all the bills and have zero intimacy. For me, intimacy is built on someone creating an environment where I feel comfortable communicating. If I have an issue, can I talk to you? Will you talk to me? Can we clearly, work through issues or whatever the case may be? It's also about vulnerability. Like, can I be vulnerable with you? Can I share with you things about my past? Can I be myself around you? Can I be silly? You know what I mean? Or do I always have to put on a certain persona when I'm with you? And then trust. You know what I mean? Like, are you keeping it real with me? Are you honest? Are you transparent? You know what I mean? Am I going to hear about something out in the streets, or is what I see what I get? That builds intimacy. The money part is important, going back to partnership, but in terms of intimacy, money has nothing to do with building intimacy, at least in my book.
Go ahead, Clout.
I don't agree with the idea that she presented that intimacy somehow breeds submission. And the reason, and I have several examples for this, but if intimacy bred submission, then there would be no such thing as sexless marriages, because as couples get to know each other more and go through more experiences together and have a more intimate understanding of one another, they should be increasing in sexual desire. But actually the opposite happens. As they get to know each other more and they have more intimate experiences with each other, the sexual desire tends to go down less. Now, my belief is that women submit to who they want to. And part of my belief is that women use submission as a tool to gain leverage over men that they don't have leverage over. So, for example, we'll do this submission thing. There are husbands that are paying all the bills, that know all of their wife's intimate details of their mind, that are not getting sexual submission, right? But then there are women who will get on a state bus and go 4 hours to go see a dude in jail who they only get to talk to for 3 minutes at a time on a collect call, and there's no actual intimacy there. But she'll get on that bus. If he says, yo, I need you to go downtown, pick up a brick from homie, I need you to break it up, I need you to go da-da-da, then I need you to go over there, drop off the work, da-da-da. They'll do that. And they'll do it word for word, detail for detail. Why? Because the guy who's in jail is actually unattainable. He's in jail, and so she's willing to submit in order to try to gain his favor, in order to try to gain his attention. But a man who's actually has an intimate connection with her closely will probably not get submission. That's also the reason why women don't date friends. This is why the nice guy, the best friend, is never hitting the cheeks, because clearly that's the guy that you can express yourself to and creates a space for you to tell everything. This is your best friend, but yet you're not giving him the cheeks. You're not giving him submission. So the idea that intimacy and submission are connected at all is an entire farce. Again, like I said before, submission is a tool women use to gain leverage. Once the leverage is gained, the submission will be gone. This is why most guys will experience women jumping through hoops for them when there's no title. But as soon as the title comes involved, she's willing to do less. As soon as the ring comes involved, she's willing to do less. As soon as the marriage comes, she's willing to do less. It's all about leverage, in my opinion. And that's all it is. A woman is only submitting to who she wants, who she desires. If she views you as more valuable than her and she wants leverage over you, she will use submission as that tool so that you can gain an intimate attachment to her. But that's all it is. It's not this whole intimacy makes a woman just open up and be more submissive. There's so many examples that prove that it's the exact opposite. I'll end there.
All right. Who would I say? Going next. Shan, then Da, and Kelly.
Who did you just say?
Shan, Da, Kelly.
Okay, so I think that these are all different words, right? I don't think intimacy necessarily means sex, but they can definitely work together, right? I don't think that submission necessarily means sex, but you can be submitted to sex, right? I think that we always bring things back to sex, just like we always bring things back to money. Because men want sex and women want money. But I don't think that they're the same. I agree with Brittany with her definition of intimacy is when you're vulnerable around someone, you communicate all of those types of things with your partner. You feel something to this person. I feel safe around this person. So I want to give him, we have an intimate connection. There's something about our relationship. I believe the sex part, like you can love a person and not be sexually attracted to them anymore, if that makes any sense. I think that for men, and we've heard this on the internet, and I think it's so true. Women do not like to have sex when they're stressed. So just like it has nothing to do with your love for your man. That's a different thing. You can love your man. That's why she ain't gonna leave you. She love you. She just don't feel like having sex. I think that women, when they are stressed out, they are overworked, they look at sex being a job, right? But when they're relaxed and they live they're like, oh, I mean, it's kind of like, when you're not together, that responsibility is in there. So you're like, oh, I want to be around him. I want to, be all up on him, because there's no responsibility to it. It's like, you got a little space, you get a little excitement, I guess, so to speak. It's almost like people, when they get married, they want to marry the single person, but in a marriage, right? Like he was cleaning his own house up. He did, he was eating. Now you want me to clean your house up. Now you want me to work. I mean, people just don't like to be overworked. People don't like to be made to do things. It's the same thing with job. Think about your job. We had the whole remote thing. You want to be able to go in when you want to go in, right? You don't want to be overworked because you'll start hating your job too if it feels more like a job instead of what it's supposed to be. Am I making any sense here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole sex part about it. I just don't want people to keep on saying submission means sex. It does not. Intimacy necessarily means sex. It can definitely work together, but they're not necessarily the same thing, right? And I think I was trying to include her situation with she don't want to have sex if the rent is not paid, because I think that's most women don't want to, have sex if they gotta work all day long and then work on top of it. And then you probably make it get on top. That's even worse. It's more work. Okay, just had to throw that in there. But I just feel, no.
Damn, y'all, you just made marriage sound so terrible for men.
I don't think that, no, because the right marriage is right? That's the problem. See, y'all thinking that people can just marry anybody. You got to marry who compliments you.
Well, no, for sure, but saying you just
said having sex is like work for y'all. Y'all got to go clock in and go and it's a job. This is sad. Again, I'm gonna say it again. But they don't give a damn about us. They don't give if giving me some pay is work, that is sad.
No. I would argue that you don't care anything about her. If you allow her to work her butt off all day long and you just sit at home, you don't care about her.
Why y'all keep going to these? Why y'all keep going to these extremes?
Let me just say this.
Why y'all keep using these extremes?
Okay, can I get an uninterrupted?
Hold on, y'all. Let her finish, y'all. Let her finish.
So what I'm not saying, I think a marriage, if it's between two people who are right for each other, can be right. I've never seen, especially a Black woman who is not willing to ride for her man, right? It's when you make her ride and she just keep on riding. And now she dying because you killing her slowly. You stressing her out. You feel me?
But let me tell
she
you,
wants to ride on a ride that's going somewhere.
They be stressed out after riding 2 blocks.
She wants to ride on a ride.
They get down the street and be like, I'm stressed.
There is not one chick in America who is not willing to help that man while he going through med school. And not one chick in America, she see him building something and she see his vision, she not there to ride with him. I don't know. I know not one Black woman who is not rolled by a guy and saw him through something. Not one. That's one thing we are very, very good at.
I can name 2 of them.
Sit here and say it's not.
Whitney Golden and Asia. They both not lying with you. They both said you got 30 days and you getting up. Brittany said, I'm not struggling with you. You better get a job. I'm gonna leave you.
I said at this right age in my life, I am not marrying potential. You have to have it figured out. You have to be employed. But I definitely have
2 seconds. This is my last piece. Shimon lives. Let me tell you, Shimon lives in a house, and I have my Hispanic brothers and sisters behind me. It's about 3 families in that house. But one thing, baby, them men be out there building on that house. That house got another house added onto it. They be out there working. So them women be in that kitchen, but them men be out there building. Okay, they ain't just sitting at home playing video games. They are out there working.
Why y'all keep going to the extreme?
He is working outside. He is building something. So if we're working together, it works out. But if she's the only one working after work, there's a problem.
You think they doing more building or clapping cheeks? Which one you think they get doing more of?
Listen, they wake up early in the morning building. I'd be like, can y'all stop? Because they sit there and cut and you like, I'm like, okay, by my window.
I'm saying, man, look how y'all keep using it.
Hold on, y'all. We gotta get down now. Let's get down in Cali.
Them brothers is stressed.
I feel like they go to the extremes because y'all keep going to the extreme when we say that in order for a man to have those qualities that y'all saying, other than the financial qualities, he has to be somewhat financially stable. He won't be able to provide those qualities if he didn't. And then speaking about cloud example,
wait, what? Say that again.
So in order for a man to have that patience, to be able to be there for you emotionally, be able to do those other qualities, he got to make sure he's straight first. He got to make sure he's in a place to where he can do that. And from what I've seen in dating, when I am dating men who are not where they want to be, they tend to not be able to give me what I need. But then once they start doing what they're supposed to do in their life and providing for themselves, they're easily giving it to me because now they got some stuff figured out. When Cloud was giving his example of the woman who went to jail, who had the guy at home but would go to jail to drive, obviously she probably defines intimacy different. See, the world probably telling her, you got to marry that man with the money and the house and the kind of credit score because that's a good man. But obviously that man is not telling her things that this man is telling her in that 3-minute phone call. So she probably thought, see,
that's what all 4 women
I also think that when men...
Yeah, he telling her he needs cigarettes.
Let her finish, y'all.
I tend to think when men see what women do, they be like, oh, it's for this reason, not knowing that we have our own reasons for doing anything. For instance, a lot of women, for the man's point, because this is a double standard on both sides, right? When a man is randomly having sex with people, we assume, and I'm not going to say we all as women, but most women assume that means that man don't love me. It means he wants to be with her. But when you hear men explain their thought process, women will tell you that's silly. It don't make sense. You putting the person that you care more for feelings at stake, but y'all like, nah, but what y'all feel is sex. It's like we can as women, we have to take what y'all say and trust that regardless of how it makes us feel. When we as women telling you, okay, they tried to say this in the beginning, most women are not like this. You know what I'm saying? We all disagree that we don't agree with that lady. You know what I'm saying? What she doing is bogus. It's petty. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? She took it to an extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like a complete extreme. Whereas we're like, no, it's not to that extreme, but you have to have something. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense because when I was struggling and we were struggling as a couple, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting horny. Like I would try. It's just a biological thing. I would try to get horny. And I'm like, but then when he started paying, like not paying all the bills, but when we both was in the more stable spot, I was like, damn,
What?
I'm horny again. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're
My
not doing shit and you like making it hard, I'm just sorry. It's biological. Just like for y'all as men. Y'all not finna marry no, crazy ass hoe and stuff like that. It's the same thing. It's just y'all won't. It's just y'all have to listen to us and trust our opinion on the panel. You have to understand we're not here to manipulate you. That's why I said women like her. Let me finish. Let me finish. This is my last point. I want to close with this.
Come on, Kobe.
That's why let me close with this. Let me close with this. Because when I first came on, what did I do? I condemned that heifer. Before I even said anything, I condemned that heifer. I don't believe in heifers like that. And let me say that 100 times. But that's not us. You know what I'm saying? And she make it hard for women like us because when we coming on here telling you these two situations look the same, but they different. She was just money, money, money. We talking about Brian for a man for 6-7 years, and he like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, and I don't got it out. Cause what would if with your daughter, you seen her husband wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. You see he not taking care of her how you took care of your daughter. How long would you expect your daughter to ride through that? Honestly, 20 years, you're going to look at your daughter and be like, man, I taught you better than that. What the hell is going on with this man? Why is you here for this long? You have to give the women the same advice you would give your daughter when it comes to those situations.
So Di, you sit there and said you don't know any woman to do that. And I beg to differ. I got one right beside me, my buddy Asia, and the young lady above me, Miss Brittany. They both said you got less than 2 weeks to financially get your shit together. It's over. You ain't gonna get none of this cash. Because your ass ain't paying no goddamn bill.
Hey, Hank, don't.
What I said. I said I would not allow myself to fall in love with someone specifically who doesn't have it figured out financially. You know what I mean?
No, Hank,
that is what I said.
You say how long? How long?
Hey, you can't leave out.
Brittany, what's your age range? Brittany, what's your age range?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm usually dating in 38 and older. So I feel like at that point, you need to have it figured out.
No, I agree. I get that part. But we literally just heard pretty much every woman on the panel say that if all the bills ain't paid, if I'm not living this perfect dream life, then
You're
this thing ain't
to the extreme.
This thing ain't gonna get wet. I mean, y'all, everybody, every example that y'all use was the extreme. We had one situation where we 3 months behind on the rent. We had one situation where we're both working. And I don't want to have to work. I want to be married, but be detached from my responsibilities. And then, Dad, you just said, "Oh man, I wasn't horny. It wasn't working." But as soon as he started spending some money, that thing was moving.
I never said he spent money.
It's like, man, come on, man, y'all are literally.
I never said he spent money.
Let me finish. I've been quiet.
Yeah, but I want you to know
literally.
Hey, y'all know it's Kelly's turn too, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Oh, sorry.
My bad, Kelly. I know Kelly hot too.
Vince, finish your statement. I don't want to cut you off.
Those are realistic situations, though.
Oh, that's right, Kelly.
Yeah, that's cool. That is realistic situations, but it's the fact that it's the common denominator that I think that was Dr. Whatever her name is. She just gave the same very example that you all agreed with, to where if a man isn't paying for everything, then I'm not going to be fully submissive. I'm not going to want to have sex with him. This thing ain't gonna get as wet as it used to if he's not paying all the money. That's basically what we just heard.
Kelly. Nobody said that.
Okay,
that's what you said.
Completely broke. That's what I said when he's completely broke.
Don't be a bully. Don't be a bully, Shimon.
Because nobody said that.
You did say that. Aisha said 3 months.
Nobody said that.
Aisha said we 3 months behind. You ain't getting no ass. That shit dead.
She wants you to pay your portion of the bill.
Yeah, let me finish.
To pay all of it.
No, we 3 months behind. How that happened?
How long I gotta carry you?
How long? It's Kelly's turn.
Hold on, y'all.
Stan broke up the Mexicans. If you ain't a Mexican, you ain't getting shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Aisha said how long? Let's be clear. She didn't say she wouldn't ride for him. She just said how long. How long do I have to do this if you've been providing this lifestyle for me for X amount of years? Now all of a sudden it has changed. Now she's concerned with the switch up. How long are we gonna go through this? But she didn't even finish her statement because she was cut off. Now, since it's my turn to speak, I'm going to talk about my interpretation of Dr. Bryant and what she was saying. I think all she was saying as far as being fully covered, it had everything to do with how she feels mentally, physically, and how things are provided financially. I think that's what she was saying that makes her comfortable and fully submissive. That's it. I don't think she was saying if he can't cover these bills, I'm not going to do nothing with him. If he don't make me feel mentally comfortable, I don't think that's what she was saying. I think she was saying is that if all components are there, it makes her feel fully vulnerable and it makes her more open-minded to be more intimate with him. I don't think she was saying.
Run the clip back, man, because that's y'all mixing up the words. She
said as long as she's
provision.
Covered.
She was talking about money.
Hold on. Let her finish.
Okay.
She talking about money though. Y'all
did she say she was
you gotta watch the entire podcast.
Yes, she did say she was talking about money. She said provisions. It's
that
provision,
was one
not
example?
money.
Watch the entire podcast. She was giving examples and she went further detail to the money aspect. She talked about other aspects too. This clip just zoned in on the money aspect.
Right. All of the other things are good, but when you got that money, you finna get that super soaker. If you ain't got that money.
Well, that's her. Go ahead.
When men have money to provide, that's what they use.
And when you think about it, it's a physiological thing.
Men seem to want money so they can be protected.
That's all y'all see as a wallet. Y'all don't care about us.
Feel good hormones, right? When attachment is there, when you feel comfortable and safe, and when you're bonding with somebody, you're gonna produce oxytocin, or I might be saying it wrong, but that's one of the feel good hormones, right? So if you feel close and you feel safe and you feel stable in your partnership, yes, you're going to produce that hormone, and that is going to make sex even better. You know what I mean? It's going to create a better situation for you. So I think that at the end of the day, we're just wired, like that, period.
So what it's going to take for y'all ladies is a man's got to have a bed full of credit cards before y'all make it wet for him. Is that what y'all saying?
It's more than the money. You missed everything we said earlier.
It's always about the money.
So it's not.
My buddy Aisha said, how long I got to cover your bills? Because I ain't going to keep doing this.
Let's be real.
Hold on, y'all. I'm not sure if Kelly was finished. Were you finished, Kelly?
So go ahead, Kelly.
I'm done. Everybody's excited. You could run the clip.
So Hank, let's just be real. In real life, you're talking to different types of women, right? In real life, most women, Black women, are not married to men getting it like that, right? They're happily married to men who are just not. They're happy with the 50-50. They're happy with the man who they're with. Most men are not millionaires. Most men aren't making over $100,000, but they have wives. So to sit here and believe that every woman is sitting here trying to go after a guy who has money and money means all that, that's simply not true, because most people are with average people. That's what I walk outside the door, I see average people.
That's why they got that's why they wives giving them the slow leak.
Then why giving them
the slow lead? They ain't even got the throttle all the way open. They just giving them the they gripping it.
Well, the other chick is giving it to him, and he's still the same.
Here you go. Here you go.
That's the reason why only 30%, 33% of our black community is married. Woman,
he has
because
two
guess what? They're not out there like that, though, Shimon.
What do you mean?
They're not out there like that. 33% of us is getting married in the black community. That's it.
But that don't mean you got. No. That's because you don't want to get married. Most men got a woman that they dating or sleeping with. Don't get. Let's not even do that. Most women got a chick that's riding for them right now. They're just not marrying her. Pinpoint blank. So this dude out here giving it a chance.
You know why they not getting married? Because he can't financially support everything. Because they're not willing to go to 50-50 as you talk about. You saying most of them want to go 50-50? Most of these women don't want to go 50-50. We heard what my buddy Miss Brittany said. We heard what Miss I'm not doing any goddamn thing.
I never said that. Listen, most men have somebody who is giving themselves up to them. They're just not marrying these women. Y'all can play it all day long, but they ain't, and some of them got 2 or 3. So with that being said, I don't want to hear that talk.
Nobody answered my question. Nobody answered my question though. I noticed that these married men, these fathers, these great intelligent men. If I was your daughter, I'm 33. I've been dating this guy since I was 26. When you met him, you felt like he was a Listen. When you met him, like this is a scenario. This just imagine if this is the real scenario. Or since I was 23, and when you first met him, he was a stand-up guy. You know, he was working. And then around the time we turned, and like I said, I met him when I was 23. When I turned 27, he started struggling. You tried to help him. You tried to talk to him. You tried to help him. He wasn't following your advice fully. You know, I'm still paying most of the bills. You know, I've been holding them down since, you know, and now I'm 33 and I'm 34 and now I'm 35 and now I'm 35. This has been going on since I was 27. You tried to help him. You tried to step in as my father, and it's been 7 years and you feel like I'm not being treated as you felt like I should be treated. How much longer?
You sound like you hard-headed, if that's the case.
So the problem is you.
So how long? I would want to know honestly, how long would you tell your daughter to go through that?
Oh, I'm about to tell you. The problem is you. You're the problem. Because first thing first, you have to be marriage minded, and your expectation has to be marriage. You should have presented that to them within the first 2 or 3 dates that you want to be married. And if you're not going to marry me, then I'm going to move on from you because I don't have time
I'm saying
to
we're
play
married.
games.
I'm saying we're married.
I don't need no explanation.
I heard the whole That's story. What I'm
saying. You said y'all not married.
No. We started when we was 23, got married when we was 27, and when we got married, slowly afterwards, things started to fall apart.
Now you're married.
30,
okay, cool.
Yeah, 35, 36 now.
Okay,
you feel me? Yeah.
So now you are married, because at first you wasn't married, but now you're married. So
I'm sorry I didn't divulge that information, but in my head, as I'm telling it, I'm seeing myself married. I'm sorry.
Okay. So if you're married, and in that situation, I hope you had vetted that man, and I had the opportunity to vet that man. And you listen to what I say, because if I found out this man didn't have a father figure in his life, then I'm gonna say, don't mess with that man. Let that man go. Let Brittany or Asia have her, because they like those type men. They like them simp dudes. I'm gonna say, you as my daughter, I can't have you dealing with that man, because he's not worthy. He's not ready for marriage. He's not ready to be a leader. He doesn't have the qualities that I expect him to have and that you should expect to have. So, like I said again, you're gonna be the problem, because it's obvious
you met him and he had these qualities. I put that in the scenario. You met him. You even tried to help him. Once things start going down here, 27, he's like, hey, bro, you come to him. You like, I don't know what all this foolery coming from, all this fuck shit. You weren't doing this before the marriage. You trying to give him advice. And it's years that go past, and you notice he's not making the progress he should with the advice that you've given him. How long would you say for her to for me to continue to be with this man that's supposed to be my husband, this man that you even vetted?
I got you. Once y'all get married, I'm not going to interfere in y'all marriage. I'm not. It's none of my business no more. That's between you and him. First thing first, y'all should have got everything set up for success prior to marriage. And I'm gonna have all these conversations you talk about with this man prior to marriage. Once y'all say I do, I'm out of it. I'm gonna encourage y'all to go get some type of marital counseling. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say go get premarital counseling. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. I'm not gonna interfere with your marriage because I don't want nobody to interfere with my marriage. I don't believe in that. That's between you and him and the good Lord. So y'all gonna have to have a conversation, because that's what I'm gonna tell you. Y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to sit on the couch. No interruptions, no distractions, and y'all need to talk this thing out and figure it out between the two of y'all.
So let's talk about your marriage. Say your wife is not doing her wifely duties for a certain period of time. How long are you willing to stay with your wife? Are you willing, say if she never changes, say if she just end up stop doing her wifely duties, and she's like, and you can tell that this is something you can't help her with, she just being stubborn. You don't know what happened. This is your wife. She was in, for how many years are you willing to deal with her being uncooperative, being aggressive, being talking back, not wanting to follow directions because whatever happened in her life that caused her to, we don't know what happened, but whatever happened is causing her not to be the wife that you married.
Okay, so when you talk about that situation, she already shows those traits already prior to marrying me. She already showed that she could be I guess what you consider disloyal, rude, irate, or crazy, whatever. She showed those traits, and if I still invested into her, then shame on my black ass, because I made a bad investment. A man shouldn't invest in a woman who already showed you herself. If I'm dealing with Brittany, she's talking like this, yeah, I wouldn't invest in her. If I deal with Asia, and she was talking like this, I wouldn't invest in her, because she's showing me who she is. Now that I know, because I did my work, I paid attention, I asked certain questions, I put her in situations and scenarios, and now she's showing me who she really is. Now, if I decide to move forward with her, then I'm a fool.
But now you already made the investment. What do you do now? The investment is made.
So if she,
that's
if
the
she
scenario.
shows
the
those,
scenario is not that you was able to court
again,
her and stop making the investment. The scenario is the investment is made. Yes.
So now we need to have a come to Jesus conversation, right? And she's gonna let it be known. Look, if you're not gonna willing to change these ways and change what it is about you, what you're doing, then I need to pull back. I'm not gonna divorce her, but I need to pull back. So taking my attention. My wife loves my attention. She loves my presence. And if I take that away, that's a problem for her. And so she has to get that punishment. She has to serve them consequences. The consequences of your actions. She may not like that, but that's what the action is going to be. Because if you're doing those things, and I asked you not to, I talked to you about it. We even had fallouts and arguments about the situation, and you still decided. First of all, you show me you have little to no respect, and you're being very disrespectful. I need to take my attention away until she could handle, figure out, make the proper adjustments and changes, and then I will slowly, gradually bring my attention back. But if she can't do it and be consistent with it, she'll never see it.
So attention is to women what sex is to men. So when a man is not doing his jobs for a yearly amount of time, it's wrong for the woman to be like, okay, my pussy not getting wet. Is that his penalty? Is that his like you said, it's not conditional love at that point, but it's letting him know I'm not playing. Right?
It depends on the man. If that's that man's desire, say Viz may not be one of those types that, give it to me 3 times a month. That's all I need. Me, I need it 4 times a week. And if I'm not doing right, she takes it back. Yeah, it's going to affect me. So now I got to figure out why am I not getting to play like I used to? And we got to have a conversation. And if that's what she chooses to do, if she feel like that's the consequences going to work to get me to make a change, then that's what she do. Now, guess what a man going to do? He going to either make adjustments or he going to be without and sitting around with a bottle of lotion all goddamn day.
Okay.
Let me get to these super chats right quick. That's Simone 189 says, hey, family, almost home. That was earlier. T.O. $10 says, when women say they're caring in marriage or relationship just because she make a little more money than their significant other now, she don't like or love that man like that. Coco 199 says, hey, ladies, you all look beautiful tonight as always. T.O. $2 says, so money makes you wet. Oh. Coco 199 says, if he loses his job, we definitely having more sex.
I used to pick feelings over money, and I used to get bad gas. And I realized talking to this panel, I have to consider how much he makes. because it determines what type of man he is. And I'm not saying it has to be a lot. And it's not how much he makes. Let me stop saying that. It's not how much he makes, but I do have to make sure he's doing something and he's working.
Oh, really?
It's not about how much he makes, but if he's absolutely doing nothing, it's like,
apparently it is. You just said that for
that's
the
why I
third
corrected
time.
myself. That's why I corrected myself. Because I have to listen to the vocabulary words and what it actually means. I had to correct myself and say what I meant.
So, like, I think it's easier for a man to want to do things for a woman if she's bringing him something. Like that girl earlier was saying, she married that guy. He was a simp, and the other guy asked them basically like, "Well, like, what are you doing for him?" And she said the bare minimum. I think that when people come together and they marry, they should be giving each other things that they probably may not have gotten if that person wasn't there, whatever it may look like. So I think they both should be reciprocating something that's of value for one another. You know, like a man could be a strong and good leader, but the right woman will just add to it and probably shine a little bit differently, or have him shine a little bit differently, and you know, vice versa. It may be something that she might not have gotten, or she might be weak in, and then that's where he comes in and he's doing. Like, I know a lot of women that have homes, they own houses, and it's just not the same without that man, because they struggling with a lot of different things, wishing that they had a man, but for whatever reason they don't, unfortunately. But I think that both people, man and woman, have to be bringing something to that marriage in order for it to be able to thrive. So when I hear people just talking about the money, okay, yeah, he paid the bills, then what? And you're gonna wind up just like that other lady was, that she really don't have no care, no respect for him. Let me play this clip. Oh, that's the last clip, man. Then we get up out of here.
Why waste your time dating somebody who is not going to elevate your life? And
not even just that. But here's the thing. I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacationing on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. I'm not trying to be with anyone that I have to be a teacher. You know, life is spanking us right now. Life is our teacher. Can I live in a house where I'm always teaching you as well? That's too much. That's too heavy. I don't want that. I'm gonna teach you some things, you know, on an everyday basis, but not where, you know, the life lessons you were supposed to have and stored up on me, because I'm damn sure gonna give them to you. I'm world traveled. I'm well cultured. I'm talented. I'm successful. I'm domesticated. I'm family. You get all these things. Don't you know that I have a list as well? You need to have your list. Do I check the boxes that you need in a woman? Do you check the boxes for me? And one of them has to be accomplished, successful, powerful, and rich. It's other things, though. It's funny. It's God-fearing. It's family. It's generous.
All right, let's go ahead and get into that, man, really quickly. That's Lisa Ray, as you guys know. I think she's, what is she, 50? How old is she?
57.
Kelly? Yeah, she's 57. And she was married. How long was she married for?
Oh, I don't know how long. I can find out.
2 days. 2 goddamn days.
Well, okay, she got a divorce because I think her husband, I think as she described it, I guess him and, what's his name, Dwayne Martin, had some sort of bromance or something to that extent. I think she said something without actually saying it to basically give an explanation of why they didn't work out.
So she forgot to put straight in that checklist that she had.
Exactly.
Well, either that, she drove that man gay.
What? Wait, say that again. She what?
She drove that man gay.
Oh, is that a
Where
possibility?
your sound effects at now, Lapeef? Come on.
Oh, is that a possibility? I didn't know that. That's new. So men can turn gay now. Got it.
No, he probably came out. Yeah, I mean, hey, we see Dwayne Wade's son. It's possible, you know. They make these decisions.
Well, is that a choice? That was a choice to.
I think it's all a choice, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I don't know about the sexuality, but the clothes.
He probably crossed over too.
The little boy, Zaya.
Yeah. What you mean? He definitely crossed over.
Well, let's go ahead and get back over there on
right. She was married.
Let's cross back over.
Lisa Ray was married for 4 years, from 2006 until 2010, to the first premiere of Turks and Caicos.
You know what's crazy though with what she said? She was like, I don't want to teach a man, but then she named off all of these things that she can teach a man.
Wait, what did she name that she could teach a man?
She said, I'm well traveled, this,
That's
that.
That's not something you teach. That's something
She didn't say she didn't want to
experience.
teach that. Yeah, she said she didn't want to teach that. She wanted a man who's
She
already.
said, but I'm gonna teach you some stuff, just not all the time. Y'all didn't hear that?
She did, but
What y'all
she
be
didn't give
listening to,
examples
man?
on what she would teach. She never gave examples on what she would teach. She said that statement, but those were not examples of what she can teach. Those are things that she's doing in her life that she wants to continuously be done, that she's doing for herself. She never said she wanted to teach him that.
Well, I mean, at the same
JR,
time, this is a 57-year-old woman, so I could see why she would say, I don't want to teach. I mean, come on, he's grown. That's not a 20-year-old.
If we agree with
you should always be learning, though. When do we stop learning?
Yeah,
when you stop learning,
But
you stop
I think
living.
she's just saying like the basic standards or requirements.
She said that I don't want to teach you something that you're already supposed to come with. That's what she said. She was very specific in her words. She wasn't as broad as the other lady.
So, ladies, let me ask you this question: what if a man took that stance? What she's saying right now? How would y'all feel about that?
That's a man having standards and requirements, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with a man having
I'm talking about no, Kelly. I'm talking about the stance on. No, Kelly, I'm talking about the stance on. I'm talking about the stance on. I'm not willing to teach you anything. That's the stance I'm talking about.
Did she say she wasn't willing to teach him anything?
I'm about to play it back again.
Yeah, that's what she said.
All right, let me listen.
Why waste your time dating somebody who is not going to elevate your life? And
not even just that, but here's the thing. I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacation and go on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. I'm not trying to be with anyone that I have to be a teacher. You know, life is spanking us right now. Life is our teacher. Can I live in a house where I'm always teaching you as well? That's too much. That's too heavy. I don't want that. I'm gonna teach you some things, you know, on an everyday basis, but not where, you know, the life lessons you were supposed to have and stored up on me, because I'm damn sure gonna give them to you. I'm well traveled. I'm well cultured. I'm talented. I'm successful. I'm domesticated. I'm family. You get all these things. Don't you know that I have a list as well? You need to have your list. Do I check the boxes that you need in a woman? Do you check the boxes for me? And one of them has to be accomplished, successful, powerful, and rich. It's other things though. It's funny. It's God-fearing. It's family. It's generous.
So she said, quote unquote, the life lessons you're supposed to have. And she said, I'll teach you some things on a day-to-day basis, but I think she's talking about
and then went on to name numerous things, right?
Went on to name everything that she comes to the table with.
Yeah,
that contributes to her character. Those are things that contribute to her character.
Right. In order, if we're being transparent and 100 here, if we're in a relationship, we're both pouring into each other. So we're both teaching each other something. So what it sounds like is
in order to teach her as a man, he would have to be well traveled. He would have to be culturally in tune. He would have to do this. If he's not, then what y'all even said it.
Then they're not in the relationship. This is entering the relationship. These are the requirements that she's saying she requires. She wants with.
So
she needs.
Would y'all consider that struggle love then? Because that's what it sounds like. Because she said if you can't go on vacation for the month like she does, you can only go for the weekend. That's struggle love.
No, she just said she wants somebody else.
The average person doesn't leave their own state, let alone the country. The average person don't have a passport.
So hey, let me say this, right?
But
when I see, like, to be fair to what you're speaking to, so for instance, when I see it's this girl named Ari, she's an Instagram model, right? I see her every single day, like, did from head to toe. She's making sure everything about her is perfect. She attracts a certain type of guy. I can't attract the men she attracts. I'm not delusional. I'm not finna be one of them women around here going, I can pull any man, you could just put me in the room with it. There are certain things that men cherish and care about. And if those type of men, those type of rich men, they want you to be always like trophy wife. If I'm coming into your life and I'm elevating you, you need to be submissive. I don't want to have to argue with you. You're going to have to trust my lead. Men on a certain caliber requires those things to an extreme. And those women understand that and they're able to meet it. Me, I like to go outside sometimes with my edges not laid. I like to wear jogging pants most of the time. I don't care about making sure my body is fully proportionate. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I cannot keep up with those type of women. You know what I'm saying? Who's attracting those type of men with that much money. And honestly, what they care about, I don't give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? It's not no compatibility there. But if I see another man who's making money and he's not more concerned about and he makes as much money as the rappers, he's not concerned about ego. He's not concerned about getting the new J's. He's concerned about how he's budgeting. He's concerned about his family. Now, that's the type of, guy I want to go for. You know what I'm saying? Lisa Ray is just being reasonable. When you're a woman, a lot of women think they want to lead. A lot of women think they want to teach a man they can do this shit. They think they want to, until it comes down to have to do that shit. Most women want a man and most men lead. And in order to lead her based on her lifestyle, you have to have certain qualities to do that.
And my thing is, just like Lisa Ray requires all these standards in a man, I'm sure she lives in a world where she meets the same type of man. So it's okay for her to have those standards. It's not like she's going outside meeting a struggle type of man. She does not operate in that circle. So it's okay to have those standards, just like men have standards in women. I don't think it's anything wrong with her being transparent and direct as far as what she wants. She knows what she wants. If she doesn't get it, I'm sure she'll be fine single.
And I mean, really, back on what
she has no choice.
She got a choice.
No,
she's not an ugly woman. She's not an unaccomplished woman. Let's not do that.
But see, that's the thing about it. That's what y'all think. That's the only thing we look for, just strictly on looks. Please, I see some ugly ass heifers out here get women. These fat heifers are getting women. These broke heifers are getting women. So it's not always about looks.
Well, I'm not always about my list, but what I'm saying is that she's not totally. She's not. You said she don't have a choice. Like, hey, come on now. Lisa Ray don't have a choice in being single or married or
if Lisa Ray just looking to get fucked on, you are right, Kelly. But if she is looking for a husband, she ain't got no goddamn choice.
Well, I don't think she said that she was looking for a husband. I think she just said, I think he asked her a question about dating. Every woman does not want to get married, okay? So I think he asked her about dating, and she just stated the type of man that she wants if she decides to date. That's it.
Just like it's okay for y'all to have standards.
Is she not finding that man because those men don't want it?
I think it's between.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is it that she's not finding those type of men because those men don't want it?
Well, she's probably not looking. However, if they approach her, maybe they don't fit the bill. Maybe they don't fit all the things that she listed, and she's not interested. She's probably saying, hey, if you can't improve my life, I don't want you. Maybe that's her stance.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it boils down to compatibility, right? What is compatibility? In terms of like human beings, is two people being able to exist, right, without an issue or conflict or whatever the case may be. So it's all about the individual person. I don't think that what she's saying is right or wrong. Like for her, if that person can't go to eat at the restaurants that she goes to eat at without being stressed out and broke after that, then that's going to cause a problem. And so it's that type of person is just not compatible for her lifestyle.
Why? So I know I just hopped back on you guys. I have to take a work phone call, but why is it that men feel like because a woman has a certain standard that they're like asking for too much? You know what I'm saying? I think that if you don't have a current partner, for some reason that makes it's like you're not as valuable, or it's not okay to wait. Does that make sense?
Well, I don't think anybody is against that. The only pushback that I gave was her saying that she doesn't want to teach a man. So I feel like, again, if we're in a relationship, I should be able to learn something from you. If I can't learn anything from you, then you have no value to me. You know, you're just another piece of meat that's outside. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't bring that to the table and you're not willing to do that, then in my opinion, you don't deserve none of the stuff that you just named off.
Well, again, she said the life lessons you're supposed to have. That's what she doesn't want to teach. But then after that, she followed by saying, I will teach you some things on the day-to-day basis.
Right. And that was my pushback. What
so there is no pushback.
What life lessons? I'm just curious as to what life lessons a 60-year-old man would have that's in her circle that life hasn't taught, you know what I'm saying, taught them.
You can learn till you die. It's always something to learn.
Well, that's the reason why she
I agree with that. So that's what I'm saying is, what life lessons could a 60-year-old meet or have that they haven't received, and they're in that circle? Because you have to be a certain caliber of man to even be in the circle that Lisa Ray is in. You know what I'm saying? The average Joe Blow isn't going to be shoulders to shoulders with her.
Beyonce still teach Jay-Z stuff. He said in his albums.
That's my point. That's my point. So if you're a woman and we're supposed to be in a relationship, you should be pouring into me just as much as I'm pouring into you. That shouldn't even be a statement that's being made. So I'm just curious as to what type of life lessons that a 60-year-old man that's in that circle that they haven't received that she doesn't want to teach them.
Well, let's get her on the line so we can ask.
I'm just asking the question. We're just going off of what she's
Like
saying.
you said,
So,
all men with money that's in that type of circle. In order to be in that circle, 9 times out of 10, it ain't your personalities. Guys don't always hang out with guys who act exactly the same as them. They got fucked up homies. So just because they have money, don't mean they have the other qualities on the list that she explained. That's why she explained that first. But then she said there's also loyalty. There's also honesty. There's also those things that she named. So I'm guessing those were the big main things.
she said
Like
that in
us,
the
because
video.
it's like when y'all, yes, that's what I'm saying. When y'all listen to the video, y'all choose to listen. It's like sometimes you can tell what your experience might be or what you're assuming to hear. Because
I
after
don't
she
remember
named
her
the
saying nothing about
monetary
loyalty
things,
or
she
honesty.
went into the things that were not monetary. And that's probably, if you want to watch the video again, probably after she named the first 4 monetary things, she named the other things right after that. Maybe they don't meet those things on the checklist, because she didn't just say provide and
hold
stature.
on.
She gave other examples.
But Kelly wrote them down. Kelly did she say honesty and loyalty? Wait,
I
hold
don't
on,
know
hold
if
on.
Kelly wrote
Hold
those
on,
down.
wait, hold on. Kelly, did
Wait
she
a
say?
minute. I heard her say accomplished, successful, powerful. What else? And she mentioned some things about herself. But I'm gonna say this:
Yeah, so
there
that you
are
just making
plenty
up
of
shit,
men
man.
with money
I
who don't
promise you
have
I'm not. I
anything
promise you
else.
I'm not.
You
gotta go
literally just
listen
made
to it.
you literally just made up some shit because she didn't
I
say
promise you go listen to it. She said it. She said there's other.
I
She
got
took a
you.
long pause and said there's other things on that checklist, and it
Yeah,
didn't have
Kobe,
to
I
do
need
with
for you to take a
monetary.
long pause for a second. Come on, Kobe, you can do it. So, with that being said, most of the times we prioritize what we find most important. We usually say those first. And so she showed her hand when she would show what's most important. None of that other stuff was just secondary to her, or third or fourth down on the line. The most important thing was money. That's all she kept talking about. Money, money, money. That's more important than anything. This guy could be an asshole, but as long as he got that bread, she's okay with it. And let me say this last thing.
That's the question he asked her, though.
Ladies,
That's why she talked
most
about it.
men don't have no problem with being alone. I'm going to say it again. Most men don't have a problem with being alone. Women, they can't stand it. They need companionship. It's something y'all need. Y'all can't go without it. But a man could be lonely. He'd be happy in the mother.
No, he gonna go out and probably
ahead.
rape people.
Can I
mean,
say
sorry.
something?
What the fuck?
Nah, I'm being extreme like how y'all usually do, but y'all
God
know how you
damn,
streets be acting when they not
every
getting no attention.
situation y'all bring up is the extreme. I don't understand what's up with that.
Because y'all do that to us. So when you do it to me, I'm gonna do it to you.
Kelly, get your man. Kelly, get your man. Get your man, Kelly.
Well, listen. Hank, you just said a lot of men can be alone. I can say that a lot of women can be alone too. So I don't think it's just a male thing. I think some women don't mind being alone. So I don't think it's just primarily men. That's
Kelly,
just my
they in the
opinion.
house
I work
right
with a lot
now.
of women. So
I know they probably lonely.
Men are never alone. They might not be in a relationship, but they're never alone.
On the nightstand and they living their best life. I understand. But guess what they also doing? Folded in the fetal position, sucking their thumb, wishing they had a man beside them.
I don't know about that. But we could take a poll.
Ain't that right, Brittany? Ain't that right, Brittany?
Brittany, you think you'll be okay if you never get married?
I will be content if I don't get married again. That's not my MO.
No,
I
they
would
say
enjoy
marriage.
marriage.
She say marriage.
I would enjoy.
She didn't say marriage. She said like
that was my question to Brittany. I said, would she be okay if she never got married?
I'm content with myself. I know how to have fun. I know how to live a full life without a partner. A partner would only add value to my life. I'm not looking for anybody to complete me or anything of that nature. So I'm content in my own skin.
What about
I
Angie?
want to get married though. I ain't gonna lie. I want to get married real bad.
You said, what about financially, Hank?
I enjoy marriage and love. Huh?
I said, what about Angie? Angie looked like one of people who get mad because they lonely.
I'm so tired of you. I'm so fucking tired of you. So make me laugh, but you get on my nerves. I want a deep connection. As far as marriage is just, I mean, I'm open to, because I value family and I value security, right? And I know but I don't need that in order to feel like I'm having a good experience or a full experience with a partner. Do I see myself being without a partner? No. But like, if I was to ever come complacent, it would just be that. It wouldn't be because I don't have a desire for a partner. It would just be because maybe that's not what God had in the books for me. Or maybe there's some work that I didn't do, or whatever the case may be. But no, I'm okay with being by myself. I'm comfortable, like you said, Brittany, being in my skin. I know how to do that. I know how to have a fun and full life. But I do want someone to share that with.
I was just going to say, I think when I was younger, I was okay. But now that I'm kind of getting older and I understand, like when I see good marriages, I'm like, I want that. Like, and I feel like I love like what Brittany was saying earlier, like I love. That's something I never want to give up on. So I wish I could talk to a lot of people that's been married for 20 years and they're genuinely happy. It looks like that they were intentional with their love and intentional with their money and intentional with their family. I'm really curious to see how they did it, and I'm really curious to know like what that feel like. Like I want to love a man like that. Like I want him to love me like that. And I want our community to experience more love, because I feel like that's where all this like bullshit be coming through. And I feel like a lot of women, we are starting to like, because I think sometimes when dealing with heartbreak, we have to find a way in order to keep going, to be okay with being alone. And we do find a happiness in it. Like I used to watch Eartha Kitt all the time, and Eartha Kitt say, you expect a man to want me and come into my life and I compromise? Ha, you are crazy. Because with the love and the stability I have with God, you know what I'm saying? But I think that I did notice when I stopped going for it, I stopped meeting people who were compatible for marriage. So I always want to be intentional with where I want to go in my life. I tell God all the time, like, please, God, I use me for your will, but I want a husband too. Like, I want somebody here. I want to know how to love him. And I think we as women, I feel like a lot of men stray away from it, but it's up to us to like kind of be like, like I'm not gonna give up on it. Like I am happy by myself. I can be happy by myself, but I think we should always be like trying to foresee, have a husband in our future, so we're not just running into random men who don't want to get married. If you intentionally want to get married, I feel like you'll start, and not going out there trying to be a pick me, right? I'm not saying that, but if you saying, God, help me work on the areas that I need to work on, so when my husband come across me, he know me and I know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know this. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some women just got to the point where I don't want to be with somebody I got to uplift and make it work. Like, I want to make sure I'm healed, so I'm coming across healed people. And when you realize it's not that many healed people, it gets scary, and you like, damn, maybe I should stop. Like, let me just strictly focus on myself. But I think I always had to tell myself, no matter how many heartbreaks I go through, I got to remind myself, like, I want marriage. I want a man. I want a family. I want to do family reunions. I want to do the backyard barbecues. I want to send my daughter to her auntie's house. I want her to go to her grandparents' house. I do want a community. I do want family. So I'm gonna say that. But I can be happy by myself. But I would rather be married.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think a lot of people also sabotage themselves from finding that person because you're looking for somebody that's already healed. I think that when that right person comes, when you reach that level of intimacy where you're not just having on that slow leak, you got that faucet all the way open. That's when you can heal each other, because now you're able to truly connect and be vulnerable with this person. You may have not had that experience with other people, and maybe it's something that you still clammed up about, but you have this conversation with your person. Y'all are on that level of intimacy, and now you're able to express and be yourself and allow for that to flow, and now you're truly healed from that. But if you're looking for somebody if you're holding yourself back because you don't feel that you're healed, you don't think that he's healed, and now you're essentially sabotaging yourself to almost be the next Lisa Ray, you know what I'm saying, potentially. You know, we don't know if she's going to get married again. We don't know if she really wants a relationship, if she can't find someone. We don't know if this list is prohibiting her from finding that person. You know, these are all things to consider. Now, I understand that we have standards, but I think sometimes we create these unrealistic standards now because you have so many different options. You think you have so many different options, but it's like, well, this God may be sending you this man that don't have a check right now. But Brittany, like, man, fuck that nigga. He ain't bringing the bag. So, you know what I'm saying? We can't connect. So, you know what I'm saying? You almost are sabotaging your opportunity to experience the very thing that you want.
Go ahead, Angie. I know you're trying to say something.
I didn't say fuck that nigga. I said we could be cool. I'm gonna cheer you on. I said all of that, but I said I'm not committing to you. I'm not getting in a relationship with you because I'm trying to figure you out. I need to understand your track record. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. I'm gonna be your friend. I'm gonna be very supportive. I'll help you. I'll connect you with people. I'll do all of that. But I'm not gonna be my man while you're unemployed. No. I'm sorry.
And Biz,
now once we get into if you started off with a job and you hit hard times, that's different. I'm talking about I'm just meeting you and you don't have a job and you're trying to figure things out. Take that time to figure it out. I'm gonna be right here. And once you figure it out, if I'm not in anything else, then we'll revisit that situation when that time comes.
Exactly.
She said, I'm going to be out there wearing my options. V. said she's going to be out there wearing her options. I tell you that.
If another nigga show up with a bag, he might be number one.
Right. Go ahead, Angie.
People need to take notes because you just said a word real quick. But I think that a lot of people are open up and to create those deeper connections. And I think that sometimes people don't understand that there's a difference between having boundaries and having walls up. We say we want a lot of things, but I think that sometimes we don't be ready to receive it. You know, and I also agree with what you said, Viz, when you said that damn, I just lost my thought. Let me get back to y'all.
It's all good.
Come on, why does it take a man to go the whole 90 feet of a basketball court for y'all to meet us at half court?
They say that they're emotionally intelligent just because they can identify what emotions they're experiencing. Emotional intelligence is two-sided. So it's not just about you identifying your emotions, it's about you identifying the emotions of another person as well. Being aware of another person's emotions, okay? Managing your emotions, understanding your influence and how your emotions can disrupt somebody else's emotional process. There are many women, when they see that there is really a man who is emotionally intelligent, that means that he can read me as well. Not only can he read me, but he can co-regulate. So he can regulate his emotions, but he can help me regulate mine because he understands this is an interdependent relationship. We're doing this as a we. If you are really emotionally intelligent, maybe you got a little more work to do when it comes to that, just based off of what it is that you said. I guarantee you women will naturally be attracted to you. They will come in like flocks if they see that. No, it's not just about him saying that, yes, I'm angry today. And so since I'm angry, I'm going to throw some things around, but I can identify that I'm angry. No, I'm angry and I'm regulating this and I understand how my anger is impacting you and that you are a part of my internal experience. So I need to make sure that you're good as well. If you do that, that woman will meet you way more than half court. She'll get past the half line.
That's right there. We just sit there and watch that video. That's another example of a man provision from a man for a man to have for his woman. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Those are some of the benefits that only thing y'all talk about is just money, money, money. But no, we provide more. You know, being a provider is providing for her mentally. Mentally, like she said, we got to get her emotions regulated, get her back into a safe space. And she could feel like she could have that conversation where she could feel like she's vulnerable. That's a job, ladies. It's not an easy job.
And I think we all agree that you're right. We want that too.
Let me finish real fast, Brittany. I promise you. A man is willing to do those things, as well as he's got to maintain his own emotions, his own mentality. You know, that's not an easy job to do, but guess what? A man is willing to do that. A man is willing to put his feelings, his emotion, what he's got going on the back burner in order to get you regulated. That's what the sacrifice a man is willing to do. I said a man, not a boy. I said a man.
Well, mentally was one of the first things that I talked about when we were referring to Dr. Bryant and what she said as far as being covered. I don't know if you all remember that, but I said that.
Yeah, you did. That ain't what Dr. Bryant said, though.
Too, man.
Talking
you talk about that money.
Wait, what? I said, listen, I wrote it down. Mentally, physically, and financially those were the 3 points that I made when we were talking about Dr. Bryant. She used the term fully covered and comfortable and submission. So, I got the receipts, Hink.
Period.
I know that's right, man.
Do y'all feel like a lot of men get triggered when women start talking about like money to them? I feel like a lot of men get triggered.
They don't want women to want them for money, but they want to make a lot of money so they can provide it for the woman and protect it for the woman.
Well, no, it's the fact that men don't want to feel as if they're getting used.
I understand
the first video pointed out a woman that's literally abusing the power that she has as a female with having a vagina. Apparently, to the dude that she was with, he thinks she's a bad bitch. You know, women using these things in an abusive manner. That's what men don't want to deal with. So, in my opinion, if we're in a conversation, Kelly, we go out, we just meet, and one of the first things that you start talking about is money. Is well, I don't want to deal with her because the money is the primary focus. You know what I'm saying? The money ain't shit. The money is here. The money will go. But how solid are you gonna remain? So I think when women bring up money, then it's like it is a trigger because it's like all she cares about is money when I bring so much more than money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're bringing up money on a date with a simp, that's a green light for him. That works for him. He doesn't mind because that's what he's known for. He's like, oh, I got the money to give you what you want, and you got the body to give me what I want, so let's do it. That's why he married her. I don't think she kept that a secret. I don't think that she hid from him that she was about money.
I'm not saying that she did. I was just going off of what Angie said. The average male, especially nowadays with the agendas that's being pushed on social media, whenever I hear a female talk about money, you know, the 50-50 conversation, it's a turnoff, and I ain't even in the market. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, who cares? You know, if it works for you, it works for you. If it don't, it don't. But if that's what the primary focus is in the relationship, in the conversation, then that's a relationship that won't flourish.
So yeah, I mean, I would be turned off by a financial conversation on date one. Like, that's not even what you need to be talking about. So yeah, I mean, you keep it moving. You move on to the next if that's not what works for you. But there's plenty of men who feel like they could just throw their money around and that gets them what they want. Whether it's what did she say? You got to deal with somebody who's not used to dealing with a bad bitch. That's what she said.
Right, but those men are typically the same men that women complain about. You know, that's the problem. That's the contradictory part.
I think the hard part about watching this is the fact that the last two women, I've watched many of their clips, many, and these are not their topics. Their topic is not money. That's not their topic. They're talking about things that's more in depth, that's not so shallow. And then the woman on the first clip, I've seen the beginning of her clips and I instantly scroll through because I can see the difference in character. So when you talk about these women's opinions and make them come out to be something they're not based off of one clip, I feel like the problem in society today is men don't know how to differentiate between the women that the last two women and the first woman you saw. Those are
it's
two
hard to.
completely different women based on how they carried themselves, how they gave their explanation, the other things that they named that they valued. They were more detailed in their explanation. I wish y'all could replay that Lisa Ray clip one more time because the last four things were not monetary. She had took a big pause and named other things after that. But not even just that. The doctor, when you hear her talk, she's talking about family. She talks about love. If y'all go, I'm gonna see if I can find the clips that I saw when she talked about women, but she just don't give this criticism to women. She give this criticism to men. Y'all are not able to identify the, not y'all, because I'm not gonna say these men on the panel like y'all be trying to include us to be like them. But a lot of men don't know how to identify the woman that is just trying to make sure she's picking a good option versus the woman who's trying to abuse the option that she has.
How can you expect the man to how can you expect the man to know the difference if they're literally saying the same thing?
They're not though. That's the thing, and it's the tone that they're saying in. It's like when you're like she said, emotional intelligence is a very, very big thing. It's a very, very big thing. And I think that's why a lot of guys don't want to be like the simp guy that a lot of us good women need in this community. They don't. They don't want to be that. But overall, yeah. Go ahead, Hank.
So, guys, what people find most important are what they're going to say first. If I find my wife to be the most important thing in my life, she's going to be the first thing I name. She's not going to be the 5th, the 20th, or 2 lists over. That's not the case. So when she's talking about money off the rip, because that's what's most important to her. That's what I said. That's what's more important. Now you try to clean it up, talking about when she talking about these other things. Well, bullshit. That's second and third. She damn near forgot about the shit. It was so far back in the head, not as important as the other things. The main thing she talked about was money. That's the first thing she talked about. Why? Because it's more important to her.
This is what the clips do to women and men the same way they do to Donald Trump. They'll take these educated women.
Come on
They'll
now,
take, now let me
guys.
finish talking. They'll take these educated women and they will take apart like these women who's actually caring about love, women who actually do criticize both parts. And they will take this one clip that she say and discredit the whole podcast. Y'all have to go and if y'all not listening to these women on their podcast on a like daily, the full clips, of course you're gonna disagree. Of course you're gonna disagree. But based on, see, it's funny because when we talk about if one of us came on here, we said we dated a man and he was struggling and stuff like that, and we tried to stick with him, y'all would get on our ass. But now that we saying that that type of man is a red flag, and we low-key agreeing with y'all now, it's a problem. Y'all want to use that as an example when it's time to condemn us for our decisions. But then when we say, okay, we're going to make a better decision and not date a man in that position, we gold diggers and we wrong.
Well, I do want to say this. I mean, that's just like one clip. But even on the panel, we've asked some of the women their thoughts. And I think finances was one of the biggest things that they say has to be in order, right?
Did you see how y'all treated me when I said emotion? Remember the first time I came on the panel and I was saying I want a man who could be emotional to me? Hank looked at me like I was fucking crazy.
I mean, that was right. So that was important to you. One of the things that stand out to me when I look at these dating shows and when I hear people is when they are asked like what type of person you're looking for. Well, I want a God-fearing person. Those are one of those things that just stand out because you don't typically hear those things. If you look on the back of food, like the packaging, like the first 1 or 2 ingredients on the back of it is what mostly the food has in it. Like those 1 to 2, maybe the third. That food has mostly those particular items in there. So when you look at people, I believe with people when they say these things. And when we listen to Lisa Ray, and that was just a clip, maybe it might be some more context on the front end, I don't know. But when she was naming those things, it was almost like she didn't want to just sound like it was all about the money. So let me add these things on the back end. You know, similar to that guy that we saw when he talked about the top tier man. First thing he led was his height. His height, and he makes over 6 figures. Those are the things that he deemed as important to him to be out here up on the dating market. So I think there's some truth into what you hear. It doesn't make them right or wrong. That's just how they think. And if you cool with that and you align with it, then y'all get together. If not, then go the other separate way. But I do believe there's some truth in what people say, even some of the things on the panel. They may try to clean it up depending on what the comments say and what the audience and how the panel respond, but there's some truth in it.
I think
But
when I heard
we are
the
definitely
emotion
leaving
that
out
I got back
context.
from that, I feel like the emotion I got back from that was, I'm not dating this type of man because just women, and this is just from a woman's experience, when you are making more, men are subconsciously insecure and tend to treat you a certain way. They tend to lack in other areas that are important to you. And it's hard to lead a man.
Well,
you should be leading a man.
That's what Lisa Ray was trying to say.
I don't think
she said teaching and leading is two completely different things.
But they can go hand in hand. As a leader, you have to be able to communicate and be
But
effective with what you're leading.
you can't
They go
do
hand.
that.
You cannot say they don't.
So we're grown adults. Lisa Ray is a very established grown adult. I turned the light down. Lisa Ray is a very established, successful Black woman, so she knows how to articulate herself. When a person uses certain words, there's a reason behind that. So she didn't say lead, she said teach. So she's not worried about leading a man. She's saying that she doesn't want to have to teach a man. So that's the primary focus. Just how JR acknowledged that when you say something first, that's the most important thing to you. You know, so it doesn't change. She specifically used that wording because that was what was most important. She's not worried about
necessarily.
That's not necessarily when it comes to women.
We don't understand the context
that you
behind it.
experienced in life. It could
So
be
what's
an
the
issue.
context behind it?
We don't know the other context. Just like with this panel today, the first clip played was about money, right? The chick was talking about she's dealing with a simp so he can pay all the bills, blah, 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 blah. So then we led in talking about how we feel about partnership and money and everything else. We weren't asked what all are we looking for in a partner. So when we initially answered, we talked about the partnership, the money side of things. We didn't, but on a previous panel, we did have a question where we were asked, like, what are we looking for in a partner? And you heard more of the God-fearing, you know, the leadership skills and all of that. So, I mean, before we go down that rabbit hole, we really do have to take into account context. We don't know what else was asked prior to that clip. You know what I mean? Like, she could have talked about other things beyond the money.
But that wasn't in her answer though. Like if she's answering a question and she doesn't say that, then there is no context. Because if you're specifically answering that question and you don't include that in it, then that means that it's not a factor.
Do you remember the question that he asked?
You said, do I remember the question? I don't remember exactly.
But the thing about it, Brittany, though, you're free to talk about whatever you want to express. So if what you're looking for in a partner, and I hate that word partner, goddamn, what you looking for in a spouse? Yes, ma'am, I got you. What you looking for in a spouse or a relationship, whatever you want to call it, you know, let it be known what it is. You don't have to just base it off just because she said money. Now, if that's your thing, if money's all you're looking for, Brittany, because that's what you're looking for, then go with it. I understand why you said that and you made reference to it. But if that's not your thing, then let it be known what it is you're looking for in the person you're looking for.
No, but there was a question posed that said, how do we feel about her response on a guy paying for everything? So it was centered around money, right? But we all did eventually chime in and shared what else we're looking for. So like with me, I said, I look for someone who will be a good partner and someone who's compatible, right? So it's not just about the money. I think we all have agreed that even though we led with talking about money, we want other qualities in a man. So,
but see, that's when I had
and trying to pinpoint that on us. And that's not the case.
Y'all love that. Y'all love that money. That's okay though. I understand. But that's why I had
You love money too, I'm sure. Everybody does.
I know that's right. I know that's right. But that's why I had pushback for you ladies, because y'all didn't speak against that, saying, hey, I understand that's what she finds important, but that's not what I find important in looking for in a person.
Against it. We all spoke against it differently. I had a lot of passion behind what she shared.
Well, now Di kind of spoke against it. I could agree with Di, but the rest of the ladies that was up her, Angie, you weren't up her at the time, so but I'm sure you would agree with her as too. So I'm not.
You don't believe that, Hank.
And none of us agree with her.
No, that says she had that slow leak on when Buddy wasn't providing. So
I was trying. At least I tried. You can't say I didn't give effort. I gave effort. But now I had to realize that it's true. What y'all say about men and what we want from men is true. They try to trick us independent women to think, oh, I don't need a man to do this, and I don't need a man to do that. But in reality, it does help. It helps our mental. It helps our body create the hormones that's needed to make sure I can please you the way I'm used to pleasing you. Like I've learned that, and I had to learn that coming up into adulthood, because I did used to be like, oh, I don't want to be categorized with those women that wants everything. So I wasn't setting really too many any standards, you know what I'm saying? But I had to set some type of standard or expectation to make sure I'm getting what I deserve. I had to.
Well, I just want to say the mentality of a woman who considers herself to be a bad bitch versus the mentality of a woman who considers herself to be a good woman is two different things. So in the beginning, we heard a video of a woman who considered herself to be a bad bitch. I don't think Lisa Ray puts herself in that category. I think she considers herself to be a good woman. And there's a difference.
I'll give you that.
She may be a good woman, but she's not a lady. So that's just my opinion. There's a big difference between a woman and a lady too.
Well, so what makes you think Lisa Ray isn't a lady? And let's compare this to the first lady that we saw as we started the video. I'm
gonna tell you why. I'm explaining to you why. I don't know if you remember that video of her over the islands sexing herself off.
No, I don't know
tricks.
anything about it.
Oh yeah, well, there's a video of her. She's throwing that thing back for every man or every foreign man over in Jamaica or whatever country she was in. That's not acting like a lady. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. That's not acting like a lady to me.
Was she dancing or was she actually being intimate with these people?
JR was like, hey, hold on, let me look that up real quick.
Yeah,
no, I actually got the rest of that clip. I can play the audio for if y'all want to hear the concept.
She was on the floor doing her thing.
So based off of her dancing, you say she's not a lady.
It wasn't just her dancing, her conversation, the things she says. You know, there's different other things that she's doing, or the way she acts and carries herself doesn't, in my opinion, she's not a lady.
Hey, she from the hood too, Hank.
All right, like I'm about to play this clip.
She's got an excuse.
Yeah,
Shout out to the hood chick.
There's nothing wrong with this outside of Chicago, because I live there.
No, I'm just saying. Shout out to the hood chick.
162nd Estate, and I'm sorry, I'm West Side 290.
Shout out to the hood heifer.
Going out south.
Shout out to
I'm
the
not
hood
going out
heifer.
south. I'm not kicking down south. I'm not hanging out south. I ain't doing nothing out south. I'm gonna stay out West 290.
And my thing, why you talking about what she was saying to those dudes? You probably want somebody to be saying that in your ear.
No, I'm good.
I need to see
Right,
this
video.
video. Can you find it?
I'm about to play this clip. I'm not playing. I'm about to play the audio.
Listen, because nobody wants to be real anymore. This is a real conversation because, listen, it's nice to be with a powerful man.
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't make you a gold digger at all, because obviously people think you're a gold digger. You know, that's Lisa Ray. You know, she can't. Why waste your time dating somebody who is not going to elevate your life? And
not even just that. But here's the thing. I don't want to stress you out by trying to keep up with my lifestyle that I already have and am accustomed to. Why? Because if I'm going to these restaurants just for lunch meetings and it takes you your whole check to take me there, I don't want to stress you out. You cannot hang with me. You are still wanting a vacation for the weekend. I vacationing on holiday for the month. We are not going to be able to make this work. That's simple to me. You know what? You know it.
He's enjoying this.
Yeah. So I don't really care about them saying that. So many people now, and it's only the women that don't know any better, or the ones that have not experienced it.
Teach the girls.
Well, let mama show you.
No, teach
let
us.
Auntie show you. You know what I mean? Because I've been there, done that. I'm not trying to be with anyone that I have to be a teacher. You know, life is spanking us right now. Life is our teacher. Can I live in a house where I'm always teaching you as well? That's too much. That's too heavy. I don't want that. I'm gonna teach you some things, you know, on an everyday basis, but not where, you know, the life lessons you were supposed to have and stored up on me, because I'm damn sure gonna give them to you. I'm world traveled. I'm well cultured. I'm talented. I'm successful. I'm domesticated. I'm family. You get all these things. Don't you know that I have a list as well? You need to have your list. Do I check the boxes that you need for in a woman? Do you check the boxes for me? And one of them has to be accomplished, successful, powerful, and rich. It's other things though. It's funny. It's God-fearing. It's family. It's generous. It's a leader. But see, those first four that I named, normally all those other things at the bottom come with that type of men.
Mm-hmm.
Because business men move differently, more strategic than the rest. Because their moves, they have a lot on the line to lose if they make the wrong decision. If you still trying to play it off and trying to figure it out and all of that, you kind of, you just getting a little bit. Bosses say, let me have that. And let I have one too. Exactly. And a boss bitch is going to say, exactly, that's what you were supposed to do. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God, he said I can have one too. That's for the women that don't know no better. I'm deserving of. You're supposed to. The way that I was reared, I came from a two-part family, a mother and a father, not a single parent. So I saw my mother being the housewife and taking care of my father. I saw my father being the one that takes care of the family, you know, the provider, the leader. I saw that. It's all I know. It's all I know. And all I know is that my mother didn't work. Now, I'm a millennial woman, right? So I work and I know how to do both. So give me twofold then. Because you're not lacking anything. You get a bonus. You get both.
Teach the girls. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
So the thing is this. Okay. Most women, though, if they know their man is cheating, who's powerful, he has all of this, they stay. They turn a blind eye. Why didn't you stay knowing that he cheated on you?
Well, I knew that we both were not 100% in this marriage. You know, I knew that we were feeling our way through. And I knew that he was dealing with wanting me in a different capacity than what I could give him at the time. And so because I had left the relationship before and I was healing, and I didn't want him to feel that he was the rebound, but the fact of the matter is that he was, you know, and I was going to give it a good old college try. And that's what both of us agreed to. We agreed to making it what we wanted it to be. So I knew that there was going to be some things that I would have to sweep under the rug, and I was willing to do that. But when it get too much dust under the rug and it becomes a lump in the rug and I may trip over it, then it's like I can't pretend like it's not there because I can't even vacuum it over it, which I wasn't vacuuming anyway, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, she doesn't sound like a good woman. And it's funny because you said that she probably doesn't label herself as a bad bitch, but apparently she thinks she's a boss bitch. And I don't know where you got the loyalty and honesty from, but we definitely didn't hear her say that at all. So Somebody got some splaining to do up in here.
That's okay. I wrote it down this time. Funny, God-fearing family, generous. But exactly what I thought her thought process was, and what I say for most women is exactly what she said. And I already said it before we even heard it in the clip. When you pick a man that has his life together, 9 times out of 10, he's going to come with certain qualities. And that's all these women on this panel said. He has to come with some type of substance in order for me to deal with him. And if he don't, that's a red flag.
So Di, no accountability, no, I'm wrong, my bad, you right, Viz, none of that. The hell with that shit.
I don't feel like right over it.
I don't
I wrote it down though.
I don't feel like
I wrote it
let me
down.
say that because you know me. I'm big on accountability. It wasn't loyalty. I apologize about that. That's the reason why I kept saying if it wasn't that, I knew for a fact it was non-monetary. That's why I tried to clean it up. But if y'all didn't hear me then, I'll say it now. I do feel like after hearing what she said, after hearing what she said was why the marriage didn't work and what they both was aware of and what they walked into. I would have been curious to ask, did you guys go get help or did you just leave? I don't know how she left. I don't know what work she took and what steps she took to make sure she can fix things. That wasn't said. Obviously, what makes me think she's a good woman is because she didn't just go on there and bash her husband. She didn't say it was all his fault. She knew there were things that she lacked. She took accountability for her part. The only reason why you could throw her part back in her face is because she said there were things that I wasn't ready to do and I couldn't give him as a wife that caused him to put more dirt and dust up under the rug. So at that point, I could stay in there and just be there for him, or I can do what was best for me, because if I don't do what's best for me, it's going to be more dirt up under this rug and I don't know how to clean that.
Okay. A little fetus done walked in here.
What was that, Jal?
that was Drewski.
Yeah, that was Drewski.
A little fetus done walked in here. Boy, whose stomach you just crawled up out of?
My name's my name is
Whose stomach you done crawled up out of? You kind of.
Due to constitution of this country, I can be able to speak English.
Not fully developed yet.
At the city or the
You're premature and never grew up out of it.
Oh man.
Okay, you still premature.
Yeah, no.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I'll be 26 by 26 of this month.
At 26.
Premature. Shout out to the South Side of Chicago. Shout out to the South Side of Chicago.
Hey, Dad, you something
yeah.
else.
What's that, baby?
That's it, man.
What's
Come
that,
on,
baby?
man.
What you say, Biz?
You stay back.
Hey, you
I
something
don't
else.
know what you capable of, nigga.
You said
could
I tried to do what?
Looking like that, you capable of a lot of shit I ain't used to. You stay in that black square right there. Keep your feet right.
Drewski is dumb.
What the fuck?
Hey, that dude look like little Ethiopians, man.
He probably needs a bed or something. Are you fully developed?
I said I was born and brought up in Nevada. I don't even know how to express myself in English so much because constitutional law of this country.
Is your head? Is your head still soft up at the top right there? Feel the head. Just is it still soft on the top?
Soft? No, it's full of bone.
Okay, this shit hard like a bullet. You ain't premature. Baby. Take it easy on here. Your newborn.
This is the way all that you do.
Oh, he a newborn.
With your mind is done by Africa.
You a newborn, man.
Play while you play. Walk while you walk to be useful and happy. This is the way all that you do. Do it
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Never
What the hell
seen
is
that
that?
shit.
I
That
don't
shit
really
is
be watching
funny.
TV like that. What is that?
Drewski.
Yeah, this guy named Drewski, funny as hell.
Is it on YouTube?
He's mean.
His show?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. Like I'm gonna put a link in the back for y'all.
Hey man, he said this his head still soft.
Your hair still soft at the top.
Yo, man, that is crazy.
He said 26 underdeveloped.
Hey man,
Submissive, I do want to talk about something you said earlier that I think was very important.
Come on, man.
I just want to agree with him. This to end on a good note. This is to end on a good note. I agree with Viz when he says that
I'm trying to make love to my wife, man. You
everybody's
gonna keep
trying to
talking.
heal first versus coming together to do it. I do feel like more people have to be realistic about where they come from and the flaws they come with, and stop looking for somebody that's just all the way perfect, and find somebody to heal with and give them empathy and give them a chance. But y'all got to teach women how to do that, so we not making all these liabilities, because we have to take on a lot of liabilities in order to do that, and we have to figure out, okay, what is some shit that's like, okay, we could work with him, and then the other shit that's like, hell no, that nigga is just no.
Dad, do you have a diary? You have a diary.
I don't like writing. I do not like writing. I talk. I have a lot of
You
people
need to
who love
start,
me.
because you got a lot to say. You have a lot to say.
I'm an overthinker.
Hey, Brittany.
Right.
Brittany, you there? Hey, Angie. And
yeah.
Kelly, I put the link in the back right there with your Drewski. Y'all can check it out. We get to these super chats real quick. KC, aka Ikene. It's a shame only 25% of Black women in the U.S. can marry. Very unlikely 499 says she can't get that type off man or she'd have them. The issue is the circle she runs in includes the likes of Megan Good type chicks, etc. Casey, $2. Somebody give Viz some tussing, please. $2 America. Are these the best quality women you got? Also, Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray, back in the day, she used to date my cousin's father back in the Players Club days. And he was a street pharmaceutical tech, so she was going for the money back in the day.
Oh, well, she came from money too, so I mean that's not too far fetched.
Yeah, so. It's not surprising.
Lisa Ray, one of the guys, man. Y'all trying to defend her and shit, man. She got some ratchetness in her. That's probably why y'all click. Y'all both got a little ratchet in you.
It's you to protect people and keep fuck niggas away. You right. I'm ratchet as fuck. Soon as a nigga come up to me on that ratchet shit, yes, get the fuck back away from me. You are not getting a good woman. This ratchetness is to keep
What's your favorite
niggas away.
song, Dad?
No, because people from I feel like women from Chicago, like most of us, kind of have that little hint. So don't do too much on us.
Period.
I'm from the land too. Shit, I already know. I know about y'all.
So you should know the difference.
Yep. I think Hink might be the minority on the panel when it comes to Chicago.
Yes, I am. I'm a good old country boy from Kentucky. I'm good.
I heard about them country man, Hank. My sister from Louisiana.
Hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for tuning in.